Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three vampires that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Regan Belladonna, Academy Wizard. There we go. I found the words. Played by Char.
Hello. Kenny just wandered off into the darkness of the hallway. So he's up to no good. So I'm going to have to figure that out.
Excellent. In the bottom middle, we have Tullios Couldarn, Martial Fighter, played by Will.
I mean, I'm a little distracted by Char having to take care of business, so.
And in the bottom right, we have Felix Milos, Maestro Bard, played by Alex. Oh no, all the hissing. And today's episode is brought to you by the letter Rakshasa. Ooh.
Rakshasa.
I get it to focus. There we go. It's kind of a creepy fishman Rakshasa. Let me go and add that to the board while I remember, because last time we used up all our cards. This is a books Rakshasa. There we go. You guys have one card to keep track of. The Rakshasa Hero Power.
It's basically the command spell.
Yes, you get to issue a command to a target as if you had cast a 10th rank command, and they must make a will save against your class DC, spell CD, or creature DC, whatever is higher. This is a non-magical effect. Treat the result of the target's will save as if it were 1 degree lower. This is a misfortune effect. There you go. So you can command something. But it is evil, so it'll cost you guys 3 and me 1. So yeah, this is going to be our last show of the year, I believe, unless we've got surprises for me that I don't know about. But let's go ahead and get started. Last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers was given the task to track down some missing bodies that haven't been showing up in the Gray District. They had been ordered for pickup by locals whose family members have been dying to the Blood Veil plague that is running through Corvosa, and some of those just aren't showing up. So our heroes went to one of the locations where the guard had gotten a tip that people had seen some lazy carters or some bodies getting piled up, and you found, well, a bunch of bodies in an alley. But you noticed something suspicious about them. Some of them were a little bit pale and didn't show any signs of the Blood Veil at all. Turns out there were indeed vampires hiding in this alley. They had seemingly broken through a wall into the back room of Giatori's Toys, a local toy shop, and perhaps slayed the owner there. And in the basement, there were some coffins that the vampires seemed to be sleeping in. You initially ran away from them, unprepared to deal with them right away. Went and got a little bit of additional assistance in the form of Fields from Flame, your security guard at the bar, and came back to knock some vampire heads. And it was a rough battle, but after a good bit of slapping around, you managed to slay and stake and behead and holy water all 4 of the vampires, ending their reign of terror. And that is where we shall resume. So you all find yourselves in the back room workshop of Giatori's Toys. These vampire bodies strewn out over the floor. One is kind of hanging through a hole in the wall that Shields from Flame had kind of like knocked them through. So yeah, what do you want to do?
Take a breather. But also want to make sure there aren't any others hiding around, so I would like to check and make sure there aren't any hiding in the crawl space beneath the building.
Okay. Still feeling a bit drained from, I think, drained 2 from the zombies biting you and sucking out your blood. You limp over towards the trapdoor at the north side of the workshop and open it and kind of climb down. You see the 4 coffins and kind of look around, and no further vampires here, but you do see a couple of items that seem to be effects of these vampires. In one of the coffins is a brass ring in the shape of 2 intertwined spiders' legs. In another is a flute made of solid white bone. And each of the coffins has like a small leather coin purse in it with a handful of coins. And if you pull it open and look at the coins inside, they're not Corvosan coins.
Do I recognize where they might be from?
You could give me a society check.
I sure could.
Here, let me... How do I do the little identify thing?
Question marks.
Imported
there we go.
vampires. How exotic.
22. Whoop, I said that out loud. So sure.
What a
It could be
nice
any number.
roll.
Who knows?
It could be any number, even 22. But yes, that is a success. You identify these as coins from Ustalov. You have some... Sorry, the UI for these has changed. It's confusing. Alright, this is identified. You have some copper spires. The copper coins feature a massive spire on one side, and on the other is an angel wearing a shield. You would, knowing your history, would recognize this as Gallows Spire, the prison of the Whispering Tyrant Tarbefon. And the angels are like the guardians of that place. On the silver coins, you see a legion of shining knights led by a general into a massive fortress that seems to be guarded by a dragon. You would recognize these as the Knights of Lastwall, led by the hero Mandravus, who are sieging the castle Scarwall in their final crusade against the evil dragon Kazavon, who had tormented Ustalov for a great number of years. Those are the Silver Knights coins. The gold coins are typically referred to as the Gold Kings. These depict the current... Oh, sorry, not the current. The founder, hero king of Ustalov, one Solvidia Ustav. He was like a Varisian hero king who migrated to the region and ended up kind of formed an alliance of all the local tribes and founded the original kingdom of Ustalov before the Whispering Tyrant showed up. And the last coin type are platinums. These are platinum princes. They feature the current ruler of Ustalov, the new kingdom of Ustalov, Prince Aduard Ordranti Aduard Ordranti III.
That's a name.
Yes. They've got his like young kind of sculpted face on the front, and on the back is him, but in like a full suit of armor.
Well, that just makes it confusing. Each side is heads.
Indeed. But yeah, so amongst these pouches, if you kind of pull them together, are 16 platinum princes, 34 gold kings, 54 silver knights, and 60 copper spires, and a partridge in a pear tree.
We will just take all of those except for the partridge. We will leave that behind. We are taking the
No,
partridge.
take it. It's delicious.
It cheeps, or whatever sound partridges make.
No, we'll leave it behind. We have other things for dinner. We
Plus, then you have
partridges
to take care of the pear tree.
Yeah. Is it a very big pear tree?
Well, if you want to have pears, you
Or a
have to take care
small
of the pear tree.
partridge?
It's important. Tully will come upstairs and hand the ring to Regan to take a look at.
Ooh, spiders.
Yeah.
I
Strange
know
stuff
someone who
down there.
likes spiders.
Oh, I'm not allowed to move stuff to you because reasons. Request trade with...
Oh, why? Is it still not working?
It said no. Not allowed to trade with that character.
Ooh.
Why? Oh, did you actually drop it on
Accept it
Majenko?
now.
Well,
okay.
maybe. That is possible.
Drag and drop. I will wait for
Where'd
my
you go?
drop.
There it is. Take ring.
I will accept.
Okay, that seems like it's working now.
Oh,
That one worked.
Maybe?
And
Yes.
where
Okay.
is this flute? Pass the flute to... Nope, still doesn't.
The
oh,
ring
Just
go.
transfer.
oh, there it is. Get out of here.
So you hand the brass spider leg ring to Regan and the bone flute to
Felix, yes.
Felix.
Is this ring magical? Does it have an aura about it? As I ping it with my-
Yes, it is in fact magical. As you kind of ping at it with detect magic.
Yeah, but wow, that's a huge paragraph. Can I try and identify the spider ring?
Yes, you can. Let me see if I can put the thing in the chat. Where did the spider ring go? Is it just in your equipment treasures? Oh, requested item identification. Sure, there we go. Oh goodness.
That I
they've
think was
changed-
me. I was pressing buttons.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
How
it's
does this
the
work?
first item in my
Identify
spacious
item,
pouch.
mystify item. What is happening? They've changed. Oh, there we go. Post skill checks to chat. Okay, there's some new UI for this that I'm not used to. Sorry, I'm confused.
I'm gonna do some arcana here.
Oh, so that's for the bone flute, and then I'll
Oh,
also.
whoops! Ignore that because that was for the bone flute. I don't think.
Okay.
I'm
Alright, I'll-
identifying the bone flute.
Yeah, I retract. I cannot delete that message, or I would.
There we go. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
one of those is the bone flute, and then one of them is the spider leg ring. So you can
I'll
pick
do
which
the
one you're
spider
trying to roll for. Regan, you're trying to identify the ring.
The spider ring.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely magical, but you're not
And the
sure exactly what it'll do.
Mm. Do I put on the ring?
And Felix, likewise, you can tell this is a magical flute of some sort. There's enchantments laced into it. And if you just kind of play a few notes on it, they gain this kind of mysterious, otherworldly kind of choral echo to them. That's kind of harmonizing with itself, but you're not sure what effect that has.
Wild.
Can we swap? And see if we can identify each other's items.
Yes, you could attempt to identify each other's items.
Let's try the flute.
Yeah, I'll give the ring a shot.
That's a cool flute you got there.
Yeah, this thing's wild. It wants to sing with you.
Yeah, as soon as you see the flute, it takes you just a few moments looking at the flute, Regan, to identify this as a what do you call this? A coda instrument. it is. Where's the flute? Let me find it. Flute. There we go. Identify.
Maybe I should have started with the thing made of bones.
This is a flute of fascination.
Oh.
It's like a staff, but for bards.
Yay.
It has a couple of spells in it. It gains you can put spell points in it just like a staff. And you can use it to cast basically additional spells. I'm explaining staff rules poorly, but y'all know how staffs work. Or if you don't, you can look it up.
You'd be surprised at how little I know how staffs work.
But this one has a number of spells inscribed into it. It grants the Tame cantrip. So as long as you're playing through it, you can cast Tame, which I think calms animals down. It further on has at first rank it has Charm, Command, and Fear. Second rank it has Calm and Stupefy, and third rank it has Charm, Hypnotize, Fear, and Ring of Truth.
Yeah, that's pretty nice for you, Felix.
Indeed. I'll have to see how to play this thing.
As for Felix, you can tell that you feel a little bit lighter, like holding the ring. So you think it has something to do with mobility, but you can't really quite figure out exactly how it works.
Definitely cool ring though, but I don't know. Hold it and try jumping up and down.
I wonder.
But
It must make you sprout several arms and legs, like a spider. Oh, I can't hear Jason. Can anyone else? Or is
That's
it...
because I muted myself. That's why.
Okay. Hooray.
What was the last thing I said before I muted myself? Why did I mute myself? I think I reflexively tapped the mute button for some reason. Any case, was Regan trying to put it on and jump with it, or no?
Yeah, I'll put on the ring and
Okay.
jump with it.
Yeah, if you put it on, take a moment to invest in your magical energies into it, and then you try to jump. You do jump a bit higher. You actually jump really high and hit the ceiling.
Ah!
whoa.
Bump your head.
Jeez. I don't know of spiders as being... Oh, there's those jumping spiders. They jump pretty far. So I take it back, whatever I was about to say. But ow.
Is there a reason you jumped into the ceiling?
I was testing the ring. Felix said I should put it on and jump, and I thought it was a good idea. And frankly, it was, because we see now that it
does make you
helps
jump more. You okay?
Yeah. Does anyone want to jump? She takes it off. She doesn't want to be jumping around. Anyone want to jump?
I mean, I'm good at the moment.
Right.
Honestly, I'm a little tuckered after all of that, and
I know jumping.
My neck's still sore, but
Oh yeah, your skeletal guardian collapses into a pile of bones. I forgot it was still there.
goodbye, Skelly.
I'll keep this in my pocket for later. If anyone feels the need to jump,
You will
let
have
me
the
know.
means. Very good.
Wee.
I've put the funds into the party stash. If y'all want to take a third, or your share, I should say, which is half of what's remaining.
Are these even spendable in the city? Like, are currencies from
Oh
somewhere?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
some
spendable in the city.
places may be more suspicious, I imagine, if it's
are they
outside,
1 to
but
1?
Yes, they are 1-to-1.
That's nice.
Ustalov, for reference, I think is northeast of Varizia.
It's pretty far north, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's kind of north and east of the Couldarn Mountains, where Rise of the Rune Lords ends. So like above the Storval Plateau.
It's also like Transylvania world.
Yes, yeah, it's the it's the
Gothic.
vampires, gothic castles, all that good stuff.
Is it super cold there?
Yes, it is fairly cold there, yeah. Very snowy.
And yeah, I was gonna say the name Kazavon rings a bell to me as a player. I don't think it's come from the game though, correct?
No.
Okay. I don't even know why it does. I just recognize the name for some reason.
My impression, and you like, I kind of want to know if this was correct and something Felix also believes, is that it would be very difficult for 4 vampires to travel from there to here casually. That's an undertaking.
Sorry, I was secret messaging. What'd you say?
Like
That was not a
I am
question.
considering the fact that how weird it is to find 4 vampires here in Corvosa from presumably Ustalov, and wondering like exactly how difficult would this have been for them to achieve. Like this seems mildly difficult to meet Alex the person.
I mean, it's fairly rare to see a vampire. I don't know if your character has ever seen one.
To find one hanging out in
Getting-
Corvosa in the middle of a plague.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they took advantage of the plague to get here. I mean, most people aren't going to just be chill about vampires now, so they would have had to come in surreptitiously. And given the fact that they seem to be hiding in this building, they probably didn't want to be seen.
Cool.
So yes,
cool.
you're correct to say that it's not super easy to just like waltz in as a vampire.
They just intend to live here?
Mm.
They seem to be feeding pretty well, based on the bodies.
Like, why come down here?
If doctors from other cities have arrived, it's safe to assume that news of the plague that has hit Corvosa has made it out. So, like, it's within the realm of reason that, in addition to aid, terror has appeared in the city. I'm just wondering, like, I would go now poking around the room trying to find some other evidence of why they would have a connection to this place. Like, are there any papers or effects from the poor toy maker who is sitting over there on the ground? As soon as I can move my token.
Very dead.
But yeah, are you able to move your token?
No, I am not able to move my token. I'm trying
why?
very hard.
What if I pause and unpause? Does that work?
Select tokens. No, I'm trying WASD. I'm trying the moose.
You're on the select tokens mode. What if I copy and paste your token? Can you select the other token?
Oh my gosh, there's so many me's.
I see you targeting your token.
Yep.
Is that the right thing then? Selecting target versus selecting tokens?
Yeah, you should just be able to click on yourself and then up.
There
up,
we
down.
go.
Oh, there you go. You got it. All right.
Exciting.
Magic. Okay. Yeah, you make your way over to the dead body on the floor. I think, as noted previously, he looks pale. Clear bite marks on his neck. Obviously, a victim of these vampires. He seems to have been working on some kind of very complex toy dollhouse.
Is it of better
And
quality?
his bite
than the other
marks are on,
stuff
like,
here?
They're okay. It's not the highest quality work.
Does this poor person have anything on them to identify them, or like a journal anywhere around? I am just looking.
There doesn't seem to be. He's holding what look like some small carpentry, woodworking tools in hand. He doesn't have anything in his pockets or nothing seemingly to identify him. He's got some glasses. He was probably nearsighted.
Oh, can I look at the dollhouse for a second? Is there anything that stands out about it other than that it is very intricate?
Yeah, it's intricate, but the details are not consistent. You get the sense that he maybe has some difficulty working with small objects. Maybe he had bad hands. Maybe he had a bad eye for toy making. Like, even if you look over at the dolls, a lot of the doll heads are kind of misshapen. The eyes are different sizes. It's charming in a way. He's definitely got a style to him. But it seems a little bit amateurish. Not like years of practiced work.
At least he like had the wherewithal to pick a thing and stick with it, but yeah, not the does not sound like they were the highest end of miniature creation. Oh well, poor guy. I don't know. That's sort of the end of the ideas that I have.
Yeah, that's that seems to be about as much as you find here in the back room.
So you think
There's
it was
some
just
other...
kind of
Oh, go ahead.
convenient that like the bodies, it seemed like the bodies were just being dumped here by lazy people, and it was just convenient that the vampires could hide their dead bodies in these? Is that kind of what we suspect, or do we suspect that the vampires mostly brought dead bodies? Pile.
Are you asking me or the party?
Anyone who wants to answer the question is
I won't
allowed.
answer.
If I remember correctly, the bottom of the pile is mostly people who appear drained.
Yeah.
So, like, my intuition is that the vampires made a body pile, and it was, in a sad way, not out of place in the rest of the city in its current condition. And other carters sort of took advantage of the situation.
Oh, you think they like saw the pile forming and were like, that's a better idea than bringing it to the church?
Hey, there's already a pile. I'm not going to get
Yeah.
blamed for it.
Yeah, if other people are doing it, might as well do it ourselves.
That's what I was curious about. That's what it seemed like it was. So I'm gonna go with that.
I'll wander over to the door and go through the 74 actions necessary to unlatch it, open it, check that it's a door, check that the door handle works, and proceed into the next room.
You open the door and step back into the main kind of shop area. It still seems untouched since you were last here.
Yeah, that was my primary question, is that like the front of house seems like no one forced entry, that truly the way the way that all the bad things have happened is through that poor side wall of this building.
It certainly seems like it. You look at the counter, and there's a couple of toys, a receipt book with like the top sheet torn out of it. Clearly, just doing business as usual. There's a like lockbox underneath the counter where he probably kept his money or whatever from vending. There's shelves with various toys on them.
You
One or
see the
two-
top
or
the top
floor.
sheet of the receipt book is torn out? Like torn out as in like a carbon copy that you hand out, or torn out like someone removed it to remove evidence?
This is like the carbon copy for the customer. Like he made a
Okay.
receipt for the customer.
Cool, but the book is otherwise intact and just shows them doing business.
Yeah. There's a ledger underneath the desk too, right beside the lockbox. And if you pick it up and flip through the ledger, looks like just standard toy purchases. Couple copper here, couple silver there. A lot of dolls, sometimes a custom dollhouse, sometimes a wooden toy. A toy soldier here and there. A knight. Yeah, nothing seems to stand out.
Okay. I don't know. I would like walk the room one time from end to end to see if there's anything that stands out, but like it seems like I am the first person to wander through this room in some time. Like
Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case as you walk the floor. You kick up a little bit of dust. There, seemingly hasn't been anyone here. It looks like it was cleaned since it was last closed. So you don't see any like kids' candy wrappers or anything like that.
in the ledger, when was the last transaction?
The last transaction would have been on Fire Day the 22nd. So like 1, 2, 3 days ago.
Interesting. So this all happened very recently. Vampires included.
Yeah, it seems like it. And yeah, the only other thing of interest that you spot is the lockbox that you set the ledger down beside again.
And so, how long has the plague been going on for again? Like a week?
The GM don't remember exactly which day, but yes, I think it's been a little bit over a week. At around day 7 is when suddenly lots of people started dying.
For them to have heard about the plague and then made their way down here to take advantage of the plague would have been an immediate response on their part. And still would have been them traveling 4 days straight, I think.
Yeah, from Ustalov, they would have been on their way for quite a while. So, yeah, they would presumably have come before the plague was known to the people of the city.
Awful convenient.
Yeah, like impossibly convenient.
Maybe they were on holiday.
They were having a vampire weekend?
Yes. It's
You're
not-
welcome. Enjoy that. Just
Yeah.
sit in it for a moment.
I am. I'm just sitting in it. It's washing over me.
I think I'll crack open the lockbox and see if the money in the lockbox sort of matches the transactions in the ledger.
Okay, you pick it up, you like jangle it a bit. There's clearly stuff in there. Go ahead and give me a thievery check.
I will give you a thievery check. And I have my thieves' tools on me this time.
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask. Looks like you've got your infiltrator's toolkit, which should give you a +1 built in.
Yup. And blind roll? Blind roll.
You can actually do thievery checks public, but
You can. I wish it would.
I'll
default
reveal it for you.
at this stage.
23 is a success. You, it's not a complicated lock. You managed to get it popped open fairly easily. And here you go. There's not a lot in there. 2 gold sails, 8 silver shields, 22 copper pinch, a silver tooth, presumably used as currency to trade for a toy. You imagine maybe a grandparent turning in one of their old teeth for little Timmy to have something special to play with. And curiously, a little brass key.
Huh. Oops. I did not mean to do that part. I was just clicking.
Oh,
on
no,
the
that's fine.
object.
You try to identify it if you wish.
Yeah,
It's a crafting check.
I will do that thing.
It's a key.
You identify a key. It unlocks things.
Yeah, you turn this key over. It looks like an Abadar holy symbol at a glance. And it's got a little number etched into it. And you pretty quickly realize, because you've had these before, used them before yourself probably, that this is a safety deposit box key at the for the Bank of Abadar.
Huh. That strikes me as a weird thing to have. I mean,
It's not so uncommon for a person to have a place to deposit stuff.
fair. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's where they took the earnings for the month and locked them up. I guess that makes a kind of sense. I think I'll pocket the key. I know how I feel about taking the rest because presumably Victoria's family, they would be looking for this. Eh?
That's quite the presumption, but okay.
I mean, I'll offer it up to you. If you want a couple gold sales, here you go.
Oh no, I'm saying that assuming that he had a family, if he was here working on toys for however long, he might, or he just might do this for fun.
Are you saying that's maidenless behavior?
This is a bachelor and an orphan.
Some people have their obsessions with collectible small things and like to hold on to them. I try not to judge. He says, looking at all of his miniatures.
Since I know a little bit about these lockboxes, is the key enough to gain access, or do I need something else?
Yeah, you all you need is the key.
Okay.
The deposit box section is kind of like public lockers. Like, if you have the key, you can just walk over to it and go to the right lockbox and pop it open.
Do we know which lockbox it is?
Yeah, it has a number on it. 261.
Convenient.
We have a lead to follow up at least.
A lead to money.
I
A
mean,
greedy lead.
it could just be this poor
clue.
man's life savings.
Or it could be secrets.
Secrets.
What kind of secrets would a toy maker have? I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't know them because they're secrets.
To your point about the fact that it would have been an incredible coincidence for the city to have been struck by a plague 4 days ago and for vampires to show up, it seems more likely that this old man and the vampires have a relationship in some fashion, and it went wrong because I don't know how casually do you think 4 caskets get down into a cellar?
Not easily. So,
Oh yeah.
that said, I don't know if you would want to be trucking with vampires. I can't imagine what benefit that is for a toy seller. Do we know anything about, what was his name? Giatori.
Society check?
I don't think Tully's shopped here before, so...
Okay, yeah. if you don't think he's shopped here, then yeah, you probably don't happen to know. Maybe.
We'll do a roll anyway. Find
Maybe
out.
he was at a business convention and I met him.
Business leaders of the city.
Felix, you think you've seen him before? Maybe at the Longacre building while you were trying to get permits set up for the Script and Scrimshaw's transfer to you. That was maybe a couple years ago, but you don't really remember much about him. Just that he was there. Maybe he might have been filling out a similar kind of application, actually, like a business transfer or business purchase.
Transfer of vampires.
So yeah, maybe he's been in the business about as long as you have.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
not and Tully, yeah, no clue. Never
Yeah.
you never been on this street before, you don't
Long as
remember
that's
ever seeing him.
Fair enough.
These toys aren't the kind of toys that Lizzie would want.
See, now I'm trying to think, if I did object read, what is the most readable object? Is it like a vampire object? Is it his clothes? Is it the key?
I mean, the key seems interesting maybe after we go to the lockbox and see what's in it. If it's nothing but old papers, it's kind of boring. If it's yet another group of vampires, then maybe it's interesting.
In the lockbox?
I mean, I don't know what's going to pop
Very
out.
small vampires.
Tiny vampires. I mean, they can shoot.
They're actual little bats. They're just in
Yeah.
the lockbox. Like,
We open the door and they
way
expand
down.
into full size.
yeah, they crawl out and you're like, ooh, who's putting
Clown
bats
car.
in here? Yeah. There's thousands of them.
Well, they're vampire fruit bats, so they only drink fruit.
They're like Banicula. Did anyone-
I haven't thought about Banicula in a long
One Banicula. It's drinking all the red, I think.
time. Yes, I think so.
That's what it
I thought
Was
it
that a
what
Scholastic
Marceline
Book
did.
Fair book?
Yeah. We could find the deposit box. I would like to start putting bodies on the cart at some point to haul them to the church.
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
I can help with that.
Probably.
Oh,
good
yes.
idea.
Thank you. Do you need a health potion or anything?
Yeah, do you have a?
I have one to hand out because, like, you
I
you
should
also got.
be healing people. Well, maybe not Tully, who seems very healthy.
I'm doing all right. I mean, I still feel like crap, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, well, your blood will come back. You give it like
Have
a
most
day.
of it.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, it eventually comes back. Comes out of your bones.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't that how? Yeah, the bone marrow it produces more.
Cullen has no idea what they're talking about.
You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
like-
Totally baffled by this concept.
and she's trying to explain. She's like, "All right, it takes a little bit. You can go eat a little sugary snack if you want to feel better.
I'm still trying to figure out how the bones make.
You
blood.
have
They're
marrow
like-
in your bones.
but
and
the bones are like when you there's no blood in the marrow. Like you've broken bone open, right?
Yes.
I would assume you work with, like the dead stuff. You know how there's no blood and bones.
No, it produces the marrow, produces the blood. It's squishy, you know.
They're teaching
Here,
strange things in the school.
hold on.
And
This
Tully
guy's got
starts getting
some
to work moving
bones.
bodies.
How fresh is this guy's bones? Does he have?
Giatori? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he has bones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is there one like hanging out that I can't do it because I'm weak.
His blood is just drained. He's probably not like.
Here, she like comes out.
He hasn't been like split open though. Like
Oh, yeah.
he's dead, but he died of a vampire bite.
Oh, okay.
Blood
Because he
drainage.
looked kind of mangled,
He's
so I don't know if
probably
they
like
were
the worst
eating him.
example for this because he would have no blood to show at all.
I only
got-
have so many corpse arts for map making.
Next
I'll
time
get
you
more
find,
corpses, don't worry.
are any of these like?
Forgotten Adventures just came out with a bunch.
These are all just died. They're dead from disease. God, no one. All right. Well, later I'll show you bones, the inside of the bones. Felix knows. He cooks with bones. Get the marrow out of the bone.
I think
Felix
he's muted, so I don't think we heard
very-
that.
And also, Jack's distracting.
Yes,
yeah.
I have been attacked by a different creature, but I think at this point Felix would just start helping to load bodies and laugh.
Be careful. Use some gloves. Well, I will actually like.
But yeah, what's your approach to loading these bodies up?
So I'm not helping because I'm very weak. So I'm going to give my gloves. I'm going to let Shields from Flame borrow my gloves so that she's not like really. She's probably going to throw them over her shoulder. But you know, just so that she's not touching.
Oh, not
her
if you
face
tell her not
later.
to.
Yeah, like don't just like carry them along just in case because they're kind of.
Are you
Yeah,
trying to
can-
keep her from doing direct contact with the?
Yeah, so that she
Okay.
doesn't get sick, and she can like borrow my mask too. But Ray's kind of gonna, because she has.
She has her own. I think you gave her a face mask before, so
Oh,
she's
good.
got one.
Okay, well she can borrow my gloves until the job is done, then I want them back. But
Okay. They're a little bit of a tight fit on her, glove-wise, but she is able to pick up the bodies, and start hauling them. She'll to avoid touching them, she'll just kind of drag them out into the street,
ooh, that's a good idea.
where you have the carriage waiting, and your horses. And is anyone else helping?
Yes.
You should all help.
Tully will be helping for sure.
And in what way are you taking any particular precautions?
Face mask. Going to use my dueling cape to kind of carry them more or less, wrapping them to some degree as I'm moving them around.
Mhm.
But that'll be it. Don't have any gloves, so mimic incidental contact.
Don't you have gauntlets or no?
Oh, that's right. I do have gauntlets, so I have gauntlets on. So hopefully, very little contact then. I had forgotten about.
Okay,
those.
so yeah, using your gauntlets, and you assist in dragging them out. Is Felix assisting in any way?
I don't have any convenient gloves, so I think I would avoid maybe interacting with the blood veil bodies, but I would help with the more vampirically impacted bodies. And I'll drag
Okay.
them out by their boots.
All right. In that case, Tully and Shields from Flame, I need blind fortitude saves, and I'll take into account the methods that you've used, whether or not that helps. I've rolled for Shields from Flame, and you have rolled for Tully. Okay. So it takes like probably about an hour to get all these bodies loaded up into the cart, but you do it. I don't have an
Are
alternate
any of
version of the
them
map.
like
but-
magical?
Any of the bodies?
Yeah, I'm pinging them. Just the pile, either
Oh.
pile.
No, nothing particularly magic about the bodies or anything on them.
Not their.
If there
blood's
were any
not-
valuables on these things, they've been stripped bare of those.
I was more curious of like if they're, because I don't know if the disease is like a curse or magic, or if you'd be able to tell that. But that's more what I was looking for with that. Of like, do they have any residual? Like, did a spell kind of kill them or not?
Right. Yeah. You don't detect anything of the sort.
Okay. Even more curious.
But all right. An hour later, it's like 7-ish p.m. You've got all the bodies loaded up into the cart.
Let's get a move on to the nearest temple, I suppose.
I mean, if the Temple of Abadar pays, we can get 2 things done.
Oh, well, they
Sounds
don't
good.
want them at the temples. They want them at the Gray District.
Okay.
Makes more sense there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
do we want to split up then? I'll drive the bodies down to the Gray District if you all want to check out the lockbox.
Oh yes, if you want to deal with them down there, that is much better than me dealing with them down there.
I was thinking more the exposure angle, but that's also a good point.
Oh. Yeah, I figured that I would just be so cross with how they're dealing with the bodies that their incompetence is mind-boggling to me.
You know, that's entirely fair, but they will never learn to do better if we don't tell them.
I like that they're not incompetent at all. And Regan's just like,
No.
they're so stupid.
It was the worst. Oh my god.
All right, so you guys leave Racker's Alley, and once you get to the main road, it sounds like at least Regan and Felix are going to the Grand Vault.
Yes.
Okay, so you hop off the cart and make a turn towards Civic Square, past the Long Acre building where you see a number of Grey Maidens assembled outside doing practice exercises. And then round the corner to the Grand Vault, aka the Bank of Abadar. Meanwhile, Tully and Shields from Flame, you make your way through the city down to the Grey District, to the drop-off point. You don't actually go to the Grand Cathedral itself. You go up. Actually, they've got kind of like a drop-off area just inside the Grey District where they've got some big piles of bodies, and there are some of the Queen's physicians are there taking notes and looking over bodies, and there are priests of Pharasma there as well. So you come and start dropping off the bodies, explain to them what happened, and because they're
And
certainly
just
surprised to see
point
a
out
lot
to
of them.
I will definitely point out the drained ones, especially to the priests of Pharasma, to make note just in case there's any undead concerns. Not entirely sure how vampires work. So
Okay. Yeah, they'll kind of sequester those off for additional like holy water application and preparation for burial. But for the most part, it's just kind of busy work that you sort of help them get the bodies out and sorted, and help them start to identify them and help them tally counts and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, Bank of Abadar. You enter the vault, and you see that there are still plenty of sick, injured, ill people dying of the blood veil all around you inside. But there is still a clear lane to the tellers, and a path around the tellers that leads over to the vault deposit boxes. Presuming you just kind of waltz on in, no one stops you.
We own the place.
Yeah, no one stops you. A couple people look at you, but not in any kind of long-term interest. Just they see you. You make your way over to the deposit boxes and continue until you find box 261. It's a kind of taller locker, and you stick the key in and turn it, and open. Should be able to see that there. There's a number of items in here, along with tags attached to them. There are some boots of free running, a traveler's any tool, infiltrator thieves toolkit, some charlatan's gloves, a cloak of illusions, 6 sneaky keys on on like a key ring, 113 gold sails, and a collection of scrolls bound together with the title The Art of Wood by Boar Fairhand. You kind of peruse the items, bringing them out one by one.
Yeah.
The clothes seem to be old and weathered. They've got like caked on dirt from use years past. Some of the picks in the thieves toolkit are bent, clearly from use.
These items make me think that this old man had a second life. But seriously, the boots are free running. The charlatan's gloves. These are the tools of a thief.
Mm-hmm.
Thief who loves wood.
I mean,
Or he was turning over a new leaf.
Maybe.
leaf.
Unless you're interested, I think I would take many of these things.
I think the only thing I am interested in is the art of wood.
Go for it. It's all
But
yours.
you might have a family.
He might. But you're not here.
I was just teasing.
I want the art of wood.
Forgive me for having 5 seconds of empathy.
Regan does not even think about it. It takes that book. I love to read. This guy's dead.
Yeah, the Art of Wood seems to be an enchanted tome with details on woodworking for learning various woodworking-related crafting skills at a relatively fast pace. It can only be used once per year, after which it goes dormant.
Has it been used?
It seems to be fresh currently, so if it was previously used, it was used more than a year ago. I tried to set it up with charges. It's got, you need to read it for 56 hours worth.
I like the charges.
Yeah,
That's
I'm hoping
easy
that.
to remember.
Yeah, I think the charges, hopefully, as long as the charges track properly, then it'll keep track of how much you've read in the item itself.
It's a good idea.
I just gained crafting, so this will help me be better at crafting.
Yes, if you already have crafting, then your options are gaining expert, gaining assurance, gaining specialty crafting for woodworking, or gaining magical crafting. As these seem to be like a bunch of secret techniques that this dwarven staff maker in Yanderhof has been using and teaching his students for many years. And this seems like it was maybe meant to... it's actually... it seems to maybe have been taken out of his personal collection that he uses to train apprentices with. So how Giatori ended up with it, maybe he was an apprentice.
Maybe he stole it because he was a thief.
Maybe he became a thief so he could break in to steal specifically this because he really wanted to be a toy maker this whole time.
The long, 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 long con.
There you go.
I can't figure out how to do this legally, so I must turn to illegal means to learn woodworking.
And I guess as long as you have the vault key for 261, you now have access to a Bank of Abadar deposit box should you need it.
Cool. Do you have to pay like dues on them periodically?
No, you pay for the initial key, basically. So as long as you eventually, if you haven't used it in a long enough time, what do I imagine? No, I imagine that the keys probably just stop working after like a couple of years. So there's probably some couple of years on the term for this key itself.
Interesting.
And
you
if,
can pay
if
up
it
if you
runs
want
out,
your stuff back.
yeah, if it runs out, you need to pay up before they put it to auction.
Darn. I figured that might be a way to like learn where the old man lives or something of that nature, but oh well.
Those kind of records are probably at City Hall, but that's also the sort of thing that the Corvosan Guard can take care of. In any case, yeah, I'll leave this vault box here in case you guys ever want to come back to it and put stuff in or out of it. What do you do next?
I don't know. I guess my impulse would be to wander back to the script in Scrimshaw. I'm sort of idly thinking about how we would run down information about how these vampires got to Corvosa. That still sticks out to me as just the most improbable thing. Without someone's active help.
We could read their clothing if we go back.
You want to go do that?
Yeah.
Oh. We go back.
Do you wait?
Maybe they've had a really nice nap and it was a very emotional dream. I hope not. I'd like something more meaty than that. I don't know if that's what I was like. Should I read something? Well, you would be reading it because I'm not an occult caster. But should we read something of theirs or should we read something of the toy makers?
I sort of feel like the toy maker we've pulled at the toy maker thread, but we haven't pulled the vampire thread. So I would go back with you and we can do an object reading on some item of the vampires. Their clothes, one of their caskets. Whichever item you think might give us the best story.
I'll go back and if we do go back, I'll just rifle through and I don't know what I'd
Well, for convenience, I'll say that you guys, unless you disagree, you go back to the script in Scrimshaw to wait up for Tully. Tully and Shields from Flame come back. Shields from Flame is going to go drop the horses off since they were a rental.
Oh, yeah.
And now you can take Tully with you if you wish.
Oh, Tully, do you want to have a mini seance with us? In which, I mean, Felix is going to read someone's past through their clothing. Object reading.
I thought we were going to summon Zalara or something, but...
Oh.
Okay, sure.
No.
We could. I don't know if she has anything to add, but... We haven't talked to her in a while, it just occurred to me.
No, she's very quiet. Does she, like, know what we're doing, or is she just kind of in a little pocket somewhere, sitting there in the dark? Are you muted again?
Yes, I muted myself. It's not clear. You haven't really asked her about that.
Oh, we should ask her more questions about
Well,
herself.
ask her.
Anyway, Zalara, what do you do? Where you would?
Are we just
Can you see
doing
what
this
we're
in the
doing?
bar, or...
No, I'll do it as we're walking.
Yeah, we can do a walk and talk. That can be part of the dynamic action.
Okay. Yeah, you try to call out to Zalara as you're walking, and for some reason there's no response.
Ooh, I don't like that. So I feel like maybe she's dead, but she's super dead already.
She could also be
Lara.
tired. I mean, she is. Well, like you said, she's dead. So
I don't know if she needs to sleep.
you ain't ever been dead tired before.
Well, I guess you have. I don't know if
Please
I
don't.
have.
Well, I hope she's not where I ended up.
Oh dear. Usually she's very fast at answering us.
Yeah.
Let's see what
It's
As you continue walking, you eventually hear in Zalara's familiar voice, "I apologize. The connection, I fear, is weak. Did you need me?"
Oh, why is the connection weak?
You can kind of feel her spirit near you, but she doesn't form like any kind of physical presence. I'm afraid that my time is drawing short. But I will
What?
continue to guide you as much as I'm able.
Oh dear.
I did not know this was a limited time affair. Is
Not
there
close at all.
a reason? Are ghosts like limited to how long they can like stick to objects?
Sometimes. Some ghosts can last millennia. It's often like you're a necromancer. You would kind of have some vague sense of this. Sometimes, like, most ghosts have some kind of lingering desires or objectives that they need to fulfill in order to, like, fully pass on. And so it's kind of like a strength of will thing. The harder they want to stick around, the more they're able to. And that really helps if they have this like unfinished business that they have to attend. You worry that maybe Zalara's unfinished business was in fact dealing with Gaedren, and all of this beyond that is her basically trying to force of will herself into sticking around to help you.
Ah, I see. Is there any way to help her out with that?
I was gonna say a seance of some kind, like you were planning to do, but maybe a real one.
A real one, yeah.
They're all
I-
real. They just have different goals.
I simply must conserve my energy for when you need me the most.
Mm. Well, that's fair. Sorry to disturb you if you need to conserve your energy.
No. I needed to tell you eventually, I just... She just lets that sit in silence for
Ah,
a bit.
I understand. I'm glad that you have been around to advise us as much as you have. And if we can help in any way, we are happy to find the nearest Ouija board or light some candles.
The harrow is all I need, but thank you. May the harrow continue to guide your path. And her word path kind of trails out,
ooh.
and you feel that connection kind of fade again.
Felix, who is Ouija anyway? And why did they name the board after him? Or her?
Not sure.
Or them?
I found it in a shop once. It didn't make any sense to me.
Fair enough. a lot of this magic stuff doesn't make sense to me, so...
Oh, you must come to a lecture then.
That's definitely what I want to do with my free time, is go be lectured at.
Yes. Lectures are very exciting. You can learn a new spell. You can learn all about magic. You can learn how to defend better against magic.
I feel like Wisdy would
Ooh.
disagree with you on the lecture thing, but... fair enough.
I wasn't looking for agreement.
Can I take a moment to drink a potion as these two are debating the finer points of classroom-based learning?
Yes, you may sip.
I do think that Tully needs to go to school once with me, and he can learn a cool
Did plenty of
spell.
school.
Ooh, where did
How-
you go to school?
How to move bodies.
Frangis has some sort of education system, right? I'm not
It has
sure.
many.
Yeah, there's like a basic schooling system, and then
General
if you
education.
if you wanted to continue education, you could go into the University of Corvosa. But if you're in the Guard, you probably just went straight into the Guard.
100%. The Guard was my opportunity to get someplace, so...
Ooh.
Okay, well, you've made it back to Racker's Alley. The bodies are no longer here, but I don't have a second art
It's okay.
for this place. But you return to the interior of Giatori's toys. Everything is still as it was. I assume you took Giatori's body as well,
Yes.
but you just left the vampires.
Yes, because we'd already taken care of the head part.
Heads are gone.
Yes, they are all headless.
And while we could bring them back to the Guard, I don't know what the Guards are going to do about it. Besides,
Is the head
it's real.
considered an object now that it's not part of the body?
But
Is
yes,
the
it
body
is.
considered an object?
Yes, the body is considered an object as well, a corpse.
If a dead body is fully intact, is that considered an object?
Yes.
Okay.
I
That
mean,
was a question
corp-
I had earlier.
Yeah, corpses are objects.
Okay.
All the parts
Whether
of
they
a
are
corpse
intact
are
or
an
not.
object.
Yeah,
I suppose
a
we could
finger
do
is
it
an object.
corpse.
I guess the question I would have is, which object do you think would tell us the most compelling story? One of their bodies or one of their caskets?
I assume the body because the casket can't like go on an adventure. Like it can't go out. It's really stationary for the most part, I think.
Well, so the reason I think the casket might be interesting is because it almost by definition can't be transported by the vampires. So it has to have been transported by whomever was helping.
Wait, why can't they transport their
I mean, they
vampire lore?
it's logistically difficult. It's kind of awkward. I actually can't prove that
Ooh,
statement.
what if the casket didn't? Oh, maybe I don't know. How do you know what? I'm gonna think about it. How do vampires travel? Do they travel in their caskets, or do they travel with their little pouch of dirt or whatever?
I was going to say, does it have to be their own casket? Can they just make a new one or get a new one here?
Yeah, maybe the guy made them all. Caskets.
Yeah, you can give me a religion check, or religion or occultism for that. If you wanted to go inspect where the coffins came from, you could go do a crafting check down there.
I'll start with this occultism to think about how they travel.
I might go downstairs and do a crafting check.
Ooh.
Go see what they are made of.
Okay. As far as the traveling goes, you know that vampires, Regan, can't really do much in the daytime. They need shade. They need dim light at best. The sun is particularly dangerous to them and can destroy them outright. So if they were traveling overland, they would likely need to travel inside their coffins, or otherwise inside a carriage, perhaps, or very heavily hooded, or wrapped, or something. Yeah, that's... You think they could get new coffins, and I don't think vampires in this setting are particularly bound to their specific coffin. I think maybe they can kind of like invest in a coffin to make it theirs. Nothing stops them from just getting a new coffin. Felix, looking at the coffins here, yeah, these don't appear to be Varisian made. You've seen Varisian made coffins before. They're just a different style. These have like some raven patterns and look a little bit more gothic. You wouldn't be too surprised if these were Ustalav sourced. So they seem like they did come with these somehow.
Okay. That fulfills my interest. I'd head back upstairs because I can't readily do this trick myself without at least a little bit of help.
My magic wand.
Hey, it's your magic wand. Which item do you wish to read?
Oh. Either their bodies or... So what exactly are you trying to find out? Like where the vampires came from, how the murder here happened, like went down?
I think I'm personally the most interested in the first one. Like,
okay.
The second, it's kind of obvious how like vampires got him. Like,
hey, and
there's only so many ways that happens.
Pick up a head and be like, "We will read the head," and hand you the wand, which I'll just release the charge of if you're gonna use it.
Okay.
At some point. Wait, can I give this to you? Because you have to
if you're just going to pass it back anyway, you can just you can keep it and use the charge on it directly.
Okay. Yeah,
assuming that you're
the
just
charge
passing it.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated trade.
Yeah, you pass the wand over. Felix, you pick up one of the partially melted heads as holy water has singed it. And it's kind of like frozen as like a face of horror and disgust. And you tap it with a wand, your eyes roll back, and you like kind of fling your whole body back, and eyes or like visions blur in your mind. And while it would be very funny for me to have the object reading give you the like 2 hours ago answer of you cutting off their heads.
Yeah.
I will not do that. Instead, the scene changes to just in the alley outside.
Whoop.
How about I copy this? Vampire. Can I undeadify it? Not easily. Please stop being dead. Okay. It's sleep and prone. Okay, there we go. We have a vampire. Okay. We have this alley. There are no dead bodies in it currently. It's just... actually, you are here in the place of one of the vampires. And there's someone standing in front of you. A bald man whom you seem to regard with some kind of part reverence, as if you are subservient to them, but part suspicion, as if you were monitoring them. And I'll show you guys what he looks like here. But he is, very, very pale looking man, dark bags under his eyes, completely bald, no hair whatsoever, elongated pointed ears, and he turns back to look at the group of you. His grumpy looking face kind of contorts into a twisted smile. Well, we've finally made it, my brethren, he says in kind of a slow, creaky voice, and you can see his fangs. He's clearly a vampire as well. Now all we have to do is wait for the contact to arrive. A moment passes, and you hear jingling of bells. Oh, good. And the man turns, and a woman, blonde, seemingly an elf of some sort, kind of jingles her way in from the shadows. Oh, darling, it looks like he is here after all. They're correct. He did arrive today. Another figure kind of emerges from the shadows. This one, wearing kind of a almost like a blacksmith's apron, covered with keys. He's got like I don't know how to describe this man's hairstyle. Is like an undercut all around, almost like a soft mohawk, not like greased and spiked, but like kind of almost a mohawk comb over.
But it's not a receding hairline. He did this on purpose.
No, it's also a receding hairline. He's maybe in his like late 30s. But he's got like got scars on all over his face, his lips, his nose. You can see blood kind of splattered on his smock. And I'll show you what he looks like here.
Yeah.
And
That's a lot of knives.
there's a lot of knives. He's basically knives and keys all over him.
Knives and keys.
Yes, knives and keys. Mr. Lamb, I presume. The vampire says, looking at the newcomers. Yes. And Dyson said you'd be coming. He kind of walks up into the light as the woman behind him just kind of stays in the shadows. So are these your friends? Are they going to be helping? He looks back at the vampires. No. They will be needing accommodations while I do my work here. Ogatho's demands do not include them. In fact, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a coin purse, and starts pulling out some coins, and kind of splits them amongst the group of vampires. Here, some money for you to enjoy yourselves. Don't cause too much trouble. And he approaches the figure he called Lamb. Come, do you know the way to the temple? Right this way, buddy. Justina, why don't you head back to the base? Right away, darling. And she leans in and gives him a little peck on the cheek, and then kind of skips off into the night. And you hear just so about those corpses. Yes, I think they will make excellent specimens. And that's kind of all you catch as he walks out into the darkness. You then see the vampires kind of like milling about, and one of them says, "I smell something," and just turns and just like smashes a hand into the wall. You hear a yelp inside as the vampires all kind of charge into this room, and as you run to join them, your vision goes dark. And you rejoin the group.
Did you learn anything?
So many things.
Oops.
Another member of the Lamb family was involved in this bullshit.
Another. Was it Rolf?
We've never seen Rolf. I don't know. We don't have a firm like grasp of what this
Did
person
he
looks
look
like.
disgusting and stupid?
I mean, I can't prove the second one, but the first one, yes, 100%.
It's gotta be Rolf.
Um,
Little guy.
it looks like Andiason was involved in setting this entire like visit by the vampires up. There is a fifth who is not here, who kind of had the vibe of the leader of this particular coven. Is it a coven? I can't remember the plural of vampire. Squad. Either way, he was very much a servant of Urgathoa. And they were met not only by another member of the Lamb family, but by someone who looked of elven ancestry called Jocelina.
Jolstina.
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 Yeah, I got it right. Justina. Nice.
Bravo.
Is that like a familiar name to me?
Ooh. I don't think so. But let me look to see. Is there any reason why anyone would know her?
We were roommates in high school. I don't know why in high school, but high school.
She kept stealing all my stuff.
Give me blind society checks if you would like to try to see if you happen to know Jolstina.
Yeah. Maybe she lived.
Oh, sorry, it's Jolistina. I missed an I.
Oh.
Oh,
Jolistina.
no, I didn't get it.
Jolistina. Oh, I know her from college. You know, Bard College.
Jolistina.
We're across the street from the Clown College.
We might as well try.
Clowns are just a funny bard.
This particular
Actually, that's like a comedian's a funny bard.
Yeah, none of you have heard of a Jolistina before.
Fair enough.
I don't care about her. Gross Rolf. Describe him to me.
He had lots of like scissors and keys all over his body for some reason. It looked like he started with a receding hairline and then leaned into it and tried to like turn it into a mohawk. He had scars all over his face. Was really obsessed with talking about bodies, which like totally fits the profile.
Sure sounds that way.
It didn't seem like these four were here for a weekend on the town. The boss who I didn't believe I caught his name, was here for another purpose, to do his work. And forgive me, Jason, did you say how far in the past that vision was? with any concrete?
No, you're not sure how far in the past. You know that there were no bodies in the alley at the time.
Okay, it was far enough in the past that this alley was not filled with bodies. So-
prior
Well,
to
they
the plague.
killed that guy.
And yeah, it was. What I saw was the events leading up to, and Felix will gesture, that hole in the wall.
Do we have a firm time of death for Giottori here? Who's not here, but you know. Did you manage to
He's
get
not
that before
here.
we took his body away?
Oh, I didn't attempt to think about
Okay.
that.
Not to worry. Wasn't sure if you did.
He was fresh-ish, because I was gonna look for his little bones, and he was squishy. But I don't know how long it was.
Felix had looked at the ledger and saw that there was at least a business transaction within the last 4 days.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So,
It would have been right at the beginning of the plague then. If there
wasn't
are
the
no
plague
bodies in the
over a
hall.
week ago?
The plague was over a week. It was as this
Mm.
plague has intensified. Arguably.
Yes. And that also means they didn't arrive here coincidentally. They were invited by Andiason.
By Andiason.
Who we still don't know where she is.
It's
or
something to do with
who.
Ortho.
Yeah.
They were leaving here to go to a temple, which I know narrows it down a whole bunch, but
Only one Urgathoan temple I know of.
yeah.
Maybe it's a secret temple.
Could be.
The sort of temple where a vampire hanging out wouldn't be all that weird. So yeah, Urgathoa or secret.
Are there old temples in the city that aren't used anymore or got repurposed?
The only one that you're aware of offhand, I think because you've walked by it a number of times, is the old Eridan Temple. Which is currently still being maintained by a couple of old Eridan faithful.
Well, it was being maintained.
I mean, it still is. Like, I mean, who knows in the last week or two?
That's what
sure.
That's
but-
what I'm implying. Is in the last week or two, I have not necessarily gone by and really observed it much. So
yeah.
possibly. But besides that, the Pantheon of Many is where there's a shrine. Otherwise, I don't think Urgathoa has much role in the city.
Is there any weird, like, necromancy temples that exist in the world that I would know names of? Like,
In the world?
yeah, just in general of like, this is where you would go with your, I shouldn't say creepy necromancy, but that undead would be like comfortable going to.
Yeah, Urgathoan temples broadly. I don't think you would know of any within Varizia. Urgathoa is not super, like, looked positively upon in the Varizian region, so it's relatively rare to have a temple to her.
Okay.
Like, a whole-ass temple. Like, a shrine, sure. People like her for the Bacchanalia aspects. People are not generally super into the undead parts. So yeah, fairly rare. And yeah, if there are any, there probably are secret. More of a cult thing than a openly worshipped, hey everybody come down to our Sunday service at the Urgathoa Temple.
Yay.
You know, if we go back into the Grey District and we just look behind different tombstones, we'll probably find another hidden entrance to a different, like, underground cavern system.
You suspect that would be very bold of them, because Urgathoa is like the mortal enemy of Pharasma. So certainly doable. I mean, Rolth seemed to have a base in the Grey District and evaded notice and detection, though he's kind of on the outskirts.
Yeah, is Urgathoa known for being kind of cheeky? Or very much like disgusting? I won't go near that. I'm gonna go in the opposite way.
Being
Yeah,
kinda
she's
cheeky.
known for being a little cheeky.
Like she'll
Put a
be like,
cheek to
ooh.
Phrasma when she said, "No, I'm going to be the first undead ever."
Yes. Yeah, she is the first undead, isn't she? Is that her? That's like her claim to fame.
The undead thing, yeah.
So we do have something in common. Well, not that part, but the not liking the others.
Yes.
For well, goodness. These people are giving me a bad name personally, so I'm like quite upset,
Understandable.
angry. But yeah. Mysteries.
Honey. Well, we have some places to start, but I don't think we're going to get a whole lot out of this otherwise.
No.
Yeah, this was super useful, but I don't immediately know what part of the city to go digging around in next.
Well, I think I'm going to be digging around in my home next.
Yeah,
Do you think the temple's there?
bed would be good.
I sure hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
Those dudes
Like
better
a
not be
real
keeping
surprise.
shrines to Urgathoa someplace.
Oh my god, it was her all along.
You'd be having words.
Long call.
Excuse me, miss.
As you walk out into the street, let's see. Sure, Felix, you feel like you're forgetting something about today.
Oh shit.
Is today the day we were supposed to go meet DeVargo?
No, you're pretty sure that's in a couple days.
That's the
There's something
28th.
else.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought I had a note that said the 28th, so I did not think that we had gotten that far into the future. Was today the night of the dinner party?
You don't know of when the dinner party could be?
Correct.
Now I'm scrolling through my notes.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Were we meeting with the... Shoot. I want to say we're meeting with the field marshal and somebody.
For what?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
What?
You do all think that you were supposed to meet with the field marshal and someone else.
I was right about the field marshal at least. So
Oh,
we're
but
down
who
to
was the
Citadel.
mystery person? Maybe she'll remember.
I sure hope she remembers because
Why the heck are we here?
Well, like we were supposed to set up a meeting between Ares, Yellow Eyes, and the field marshal, but I thought that
we were
happened.
going to talk to Varric, weren't we?
Were we?
Were
I
we
was.
trying to get Van Kaskerkin freed for something.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to do community service with.
Okay, so we didn't need to convince her to free him at all. That wasn't what this is about. Okay.
Wolf.
I'm
Hey,
trying
we're
to remember.
here.
I'm really not.
What were we supposed to be?
Like we went to the field marshal for the Ares Yellow Eyes thing, and then got the task to.
And then some vampire sucked my blood. I'm sorry.
I don't
gosh,
have.
no,
one.
I don't want to get. I don't want to.
You've
Piss her off?
never spoken to her about Ares.
Were we supposed to?
I think we might have been.
We have a note that says that we were supposed to arrange a meeting between Ares, Yellow Eyes, and the field marshal about the
Oh no.
the were peoples. Shit. How
Well, we should bring that up.
I would get to the Citadel in hopes that maybe she's working late. I don't know. Shit.
I don't know if she ever sleeps nowadays.
We have to pretend we know why we're there. Don't tell anyone.
Now, I very clearly have a note that says that we were supposed to arrange a meeting between Ares, Yellow Eyes, and the field marshal.
Look at that's what we'll go for. And then if the rest comes up naturally.
Well, as you return to the Script and Scrimshaw street, you see Ares Yellow Eyes sitting on like a little straw mat
Oh dear.
outside the Script and Scrimshaw.
Wow.
Oh, there you are. She kind of gets up slowly.
Is the act
Good.
necessary?
Sorry, what?
I was asking if the act was necessary.
Oh.
The act?
Don't mind him. He's grumpy always.
He needs a sugary snack, and he'll be feeling a little better.
Yes.
Is today still a good day? I wasn't sure exactly what time you wanted, so...
Today is as good a day as is a fantastic day. We unfortunately got mixed up with I'll just tell the truth, some vampires that we were not expecting to run into, and that's why Tully's feeling a little drained.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. I can come back another day. That's fine.
It's important that we make sure that the field marshal has a chance to hear from you. Let's go.
Make sure your people are protected.
Yes. And it's not. She's been working late nights, seemingly forever. So, I don't think we'll be waking her up.
For better or worse.
Indeed. Let's head to the Citadel.
Lead the way, she says, her bones creaking and popping as she follows you along.
Oh, she said so loud.
All right.
The weather causing that, or?
When you're this old, sometimes your body just doesn't get along.
Oh, how old are you?
Hagen.
Why?
To tell the truth, I've lost track.
Ooh.
I spent
That's
so
really
long in the sewers that I barely remember what days are which.
How old do were-rats usually live for if given
35.
a environment where they aren't stabbed?
They have like typical human ages. Maybe slightly extended. So like maybe she could live to 120 or so. She really
Okay.
put her mind to it.
I believe in her.
All right. Well, you take her to the Citadel. Request a meeting with the field marshal, and
She still happens to be awake.
she does happen to be awake. She is up burning the midnight oil in her office, and you lead Aries Yellow Eyes in. And I assume you just kind of tell her about what happened and
the encounter that we had, the people who live under the city, and in a recurring theme, our urge to help the city not anger some of the people it lives around.
yeah, she'll listen to that story and hear Aries' side of it, and after a few minutes, well, if you're willing to assist, we do need quite a bit of help. Just actually, you said something about your people not being the cause of the disease. None of them have had it, correct? Ares nods. Yes, though some of my kind have come in contact with the victims of the Blood Veil. None have yet contracted it. Interesting. Well, if they're willing, do you think that perhaps maybe they could augment our carting force? We've had some issues, as my friends here may have told you. getting reliable carters, and if your people are willing to put in the work, I don't see why we couldn't pay them, give them an honest chance at helping make the city better, and I'm sure people will appreciate the effort, especially given how many crooks there are in the city, scamming people these days. That does seem like it would suit our abilities quite well. Yes. And the two of them will talk some more and kind of hash out the ideas. They end up kind of settling on some combination of having the were-routes help do some body carting at night at first to kind of ease into it. And then or like with like a guard escort so that people don't freak out. And then kind of ease into announcing that the were-rats are helping, and also having the were-rats do deliveries between the various. A lot of the churches are or the cathedrals are all needing to. They're doing their own like independent sort of research on the disease, and there's a lot of like couriering that needs to happen between them. And the were-rats are quite fast and are good at using the tunnels to get around. And it seems like they can actually make good use of those skills as well. So this meeting goes on for like an hour. After which Ares and the field marshal seem to get along quite well. And Ares thanks you all again. Thank you so much for doing this for us. We won't let you down, I promise it. But these old bones should probably go rest for the evening. So, thank you very much again, Tully, Regan, and Felix. And please tell Mayhem I give him my regards as well.
Oh yes.
And Ares will exit the building. Speaking of the Carter situation, were you guys able to look into it anymore?
Yes, and then we did not make the discovery we thought we were going to make.
We did find the bodies.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, we did totally run into a Carter who was trying to drop off a body at that pile you indicated. But I want to say the bulk of those bodies were not infected with blood veil. They were
a layer of them at least.
At least a layer.
Yeah.
They were the unfortunate victims of a vampire attack.
Vampires? I'm gonna need more coffee for this. And she gets up and pours another pot. Do you guys want some?
We keep bringing her new things that are going
Right?
on.
Right. Well, this one we at
Don't
least sort
think
of
it's
resolved.
Sort of.
Happens.
And yeah, we'll recite the tale of the evening's adventures, our discovery of 4 vampires and dispatching them.
Okay.
Nice new neck marks.
Well, yeah, she's certainly happy to hear that you've dealt with the vampires and will, and moreover that you helped deliver the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should have actually gotten. Oh no, you already did. Never mind. Well, I guess that explains at least part of why. Part of what's going on. If you say Rolf is involved, though, maybe that does explain why the other bodies are missing.
It very well could, and it seems like Rolf is getting help from, and I'm gonna murder this name again, Jocelina?
Jolestina.
Jolstina.
Yeah.
From someone named Jolstina. And
Susperia?
you know her? We've been racking our brains.
That sounds very suspicious.
Celestina's, well, she's been wanted for quite some time. I thought she had fled the city decades ago.
Maybe she's back.
That doesn't bode well. And she's working with Rolth, you say?
Indeed. They seemed to have some temple somewhere that they were heading off to. And the servant of Urgathoa had business in the city that brought him here. Vampires were just here on vacation.
An Urgathoan, a mass murderer, and a necromancer.
Walk into a bar?
Yes.
Not my bar, please.
I can only hope not. This is quite troubling indeed. If you don't mind, I'd like you to look into it further if you can. I'll do what I can on my end as well, but... She looks over at the large stack of papers that she still needs to get through for the evening.
I think we can handle this one.
Yeah.
What was Jolstina? What did she do that was like she was wanted for? Was that explained? I missed it completely.
She's a sadistic murderer. As far as I know, she kills just for the fun of it. She tortures her victims in ways that amuse her. She... a truly fucked up individual. They say she was held at a sanatorium once and managed to escape somehow. But I don't really know the details myself. She's a bit before my time in the Guard, even. I was still an adventurer back in those days.
Quite long-lived then.
Wow. All these horrible people hanging out together.
Seriously, there has to be some social club where they, like, gather for drinks or something. If
That's
only
what
we could find
temple
it.
is. Their temple. It's like, oh, it's our cute little no good people allowed club.
It does speak to a greater conspiracy. There's no way that this many known killers and ne'er-do-wells are assembling at our time of most dire need just for out of sheer luck.
Is there anyone who has been on the Guard for such a period of time who would know more about her crimes? Maybe someone retired who we could talk to? Like, trying to get a lead on where these people hung out and the social connections they had maybe are our clearest path to hunting them down.
Most of the people from those days have probably retired by now, at least the detectives on the cases, but there should be notes in the archives.
Ooh.
You're
Reading.
free to go take a look.
Yes. Oh boy.
I think you've made Regan's day.
I get to go see the archives. I take so many notes.
Yeah, just let them know that I sent you and they should allow you in.
Well, thank you.
They're just on the lower floors, down in the basement. I talked to Varric, by the way. She adds. He's agreed to do some amount of community service during the epidemic, and I'm hoping that we can get him out on good behavior in the future, but unfortunately, City Hall's been a bit slow to respond to much lately, so I don't know when they're going to actually process his claims.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go down there and threaten them, but I shouldn't say that in front of the guard, so I won't.
You think about it, and then think better.
If Regan saying that out loud.
She thinks about it, looks at Tully, then looks at Chris, and just closes her mouth again.
Tully doesn't notice.
Bunch of narcs.
Well, I should probably get back to my work unless you need anything else.
Oh no, I'm gonna go to the archive. He like starts leaving to go down. Ooh, to the basement. Majenko, come with me.
All right, yeah, Majenko glides behind you as you make your way down to the basement. Do the others follow, or are you heading out?
Sure. Well, Regan's gonna be
you-
more doing
You
the
don't
secret
have
stuff.
to. You can take a nap if you
I
want.
think I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's already
Yeah.
10:30 p.m.
It's off.
Game time, so
Yeah.
you're welcome to head home.
I think Tully will be heading home to sleep off some of this draining.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Felix is also missing still half of his hit points. I think it's bedtime.
All right, so Reagan's going to spend an
Yes.
hour or two burning the midnight oil. Go ahead and give me an academic lore to search these records.
Yeah. And I'm gonna do a double roll, a hero point. There we go.
Hero point. 3 down to 2.
Oh, can Majenko help me?
Yes,
Uh,
Majenko can aid you, I believe.
Yeah.
He can do society. Because I don't think he has lore skills.
No.
Yeah, he can aid with society.
Okay. Maybe he doesn't help at all. 11.
11's not quite good enough.
He's tired.
But- You can make your main roll.
I will do it twice. Hold on. There it is. 1. Oh shoot! Get out of the way. There we go. 2.
Okay. You're able to, after, like 2 hours, you're able to sift through the case files. You find the notes on Jolistina Susperio. And she has been accused of multiple crimes, most of them murders, over a, 3-year span, 40 years ago.
Oh. That's what we meant by decades.
Yes. It has been some time since she has been active in the city. And the cases are listed as still open, but they're just kind of sitting here in the archives. The last detective that worked on them seems to not be with the guard anymore.
Who was that?
She... some name.
Who was it, Jason? And where do they live?
Max Payne.
They're
Oh,
dead.
those are
They died.
weird. Oh, they're super dead. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
they died 15 years ago, sadly.
Oh
When
my
you
god.
look up their records. They were quite old. They were very old detective. These things happen sometimes. But yeah, her psych profile is that she's very manic. Reports of her just kind of behaving erratically, a lot of laughing. She seems to find great amusement in her kills. She's noted as having some level of magical skills, suspected that she is some kind of sorcerer, as she does have some kind of like innate like occult abilities. She has been noted to cast spells. She sometimes uses wands and other sorts of items to aid in her kills. She has been known to decorate the bodies of her victims. Multiple cases of like her killing somebody seemingly random. She never seems to have any particular reason for killing people. They just seem to be kind of arbitrarily chosen targets. They were never able to make any connections between the victims. Some rich, some poor, some happenstance, some seemingly planned, but none of the targets seemed to have anything to do with each other. None of the victims knew each other. No connections were made between them. They just seemed like kind of random killings. Some of them premeditated, others not. And yeah, the victims, the police or guard rather would find victims like once they found a victim dressed in like baby clothing, holding like wooden toy blocks. Once they found a husband and wife victim hanging upside down in a tree, dressed as doctors, even though they were grocers by trade. She just does weird stuff. Yeah, and her broad profile seems to be that of some kind of magical trickster. She has, she's known to kill with daggers and crossbows.
Ooh. My goodness. Well, this explains why Rolf likes to hang around with her. They're both
But yeah,
weird.
the last case, it seems like they almost caught her. She had some like bar that she was hanging out in the Midlands, and they almost caught her there, but she somehow caught wind of the guards' sting operation and ran away. And the bar, surprisingly, was the Script and Scrimshaw.
Oh my god, Felix!
Hey, it's a very old bar.
How suspicious. 40 years ago, Felix was probably not born. I don't know how old Felix is.
It was long enough ago that it would have not been run by me, but by the bar's.
I think Felix is like 42, so yeah, he would have been very young.
Well, I don't know what 2-year-old.
Will, I think you're muted if you're.
I was just saying, just a wee baby. That's all.
Indeed.
Baby.
That would have been Dimitri's bar at that point.
Yes. Yeah, it mentions Dimitri, the owner, as having assisted in the sting operation, but she fled. She fled through a window she turned invisible and fled through a window. Just before the guard arrived.
He would probably bend our ear if we asked him the story, but it sounds like she just is always one step ahead of everyone and has managed to evade capture for 40 years until showing up now.
And even still, we only saw her because of a magic spell. And I didn't even see her.
Same.
Well, if this is all I can find, I'll probably take some notes on it and then head back to the academy for a night's rest.
Little sneak
Okay.
in.
You can add an item that's just like Jolastina Susperio case files.
Okay.
Jolastina Susperio.
Yeah, she's suspicious. Suspicious.
The paizo writers know what they're doing sometimes.
What
It
a
is not the
strange-
first pun name. It is not going to be the last. All right, so back to the academy you go.
Yes.
Susperio. Susperio. That's Superio. Susperio. There we go. I can type. For the chat who is asking the spelling. Okay. Alright, you head back to the academy. And a new day dawns. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I can press the rest for the night button.
Yes, feel free to rest for the night. Get your spells back. I said off screen, but you guys are leveled, whatever new level it is. You leveled up overnight.
6.
Yes, you are now level 6. Congratulations. Do you want to go around and quickly say like some small things that you got?
We can.
All right, Felix, what did you get as part of your level up?
I remembered that I actually had the ability to have signature spells. Had this for the better part of a year. Never learned how to press the button. But in addition, I've picked up invisibility. So like you figure that I actually learned how to use the clandestine cloak to the point of disappearing into nothingness. I know. I picked up a new cantrip from a class feat called the Dirge of Doom, where I can sort of create a fear aura as opposed to the other spells that the songs that I have been able to play in the past, like Courageous Anthem and Railing Anthem. I can now create an aura of mild spooky and make everyone fear one so long as they remain around me.
Nice.
And I picked up a 3rd rank spell, Antagonizing Despair, which is a big ol' whop of damage that I can hit someone with that is also makes them frightened. So a little bit of a theme. Felix got mildly spooky.
All right. Char, what did Regan get?
At magical crafting. So I can start crafting things now that are magical. And I
Ooh,
got some...
are you expert in crafting?
Oh, can I not have this unless I'm expert?
Yeah, I don't think you can get it until you're expert. Let me
Well,
double check, but
then I might get rid of that. I'm
You
surprised it let me put
just
it in.
skill up this level, so
oh, was there skill up this level?
every even level, right? Or is it every odd
I
level?
forget. I think it's odd levels, isn't
No,
it?
it's every odd level. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unfortunate.
My apologies. I was wrong.
Yes,
Oh, never
so
mind.
you'll have to pick a different one.
I will pick a different one.
I only know this because I also play a wizard who also needed to get magical crafting, who also
Yes,
did not have
kidding.
expert yet.
I was testing everyone.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Luckily,
That's
I have
how the game works.
things. Well, I do have explosive arrival. So that's when I summon my summons and they explode everywhere. Well, they don't die, which is great.
They just explode.
And I have 2 new spells. I think I picked up haste and one of them wooden double.
Oh, that's nice.
Attacks me, I make a little wooden double that takes an amount of damage. What else did I do?
The ninja spell.
I think I got familiar conduit, which is I can use my familiar to cast ranged spells as long as I have line of effect to my
Oh,
familiar.
nice. That's a fun one.
That's it.
All right. Mayhem.
I got better at judging people.
Excellent.
More judgmental and more intimidation. That's basically it.
Perfect. No elaboration. Love to see it.
You'll find out. It'll be fun.
All right, fun. Okay. Well, morning arrives. Felix, the bar is. The others are here as per usual. I guess Shields from Flame should be back. She would have come back by then. You're doing your usual, like, getting breakfast ready. Did you get your health overnight? It looks like it, yes.
I got some health, but I think I still feel a bit beaten up.
Yeah. Tully's drain got reduced by 1, so he still drained 1. Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
I might have a cup of coffee and a cup of healing potion, just like one next to the next to the other.
That's like the a 1.
It don't mix well at all.
It's a very weak healing potion. I'll
Like
take
that
it.
coffee Coca-Cola stuff. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
All right. Regan, what are you up to?
Wake up and I figure out that I can't craft because I'm too stupid to craft still. Oh, my little brain. I thought it was smart yesterday, but then I woke up and it wasn't. So I'm going to deal with that. I also have 10 hit points missing, so I'm going to heal myself with my... Where is it? My treat wounds. While I figure this out. And I just have
All right, you're licking your wounds over at the university. Tully.
I may actually go to work this morning.
Nice.
I know it's super exciting, but it's oh no, Majenko.
I don't know.
It looks like Majenko rolled that, not you.
That's why I didn't have assurance.
That was a 14, which would be a failure.
Because I'm like, assurance should make this trivial.
All right, so Tully, you head off to work.
Mm-hmm.
Responding to a couple of fires, helping clear some. Would there be any fires really? Yes, there's 1 or 2 fires caused by people like trying to burn bodies in their own houses.
Yeah, I was gonna say people being indoors more, they're gonna do stupid stuff because they're not supposed to be going outside, where they would do stupid stuff instead. So.
Yes, people who have never had to cook for themselves before suddenly starting grease fires. So yeah, it's a busy-ish day for you.
There's enough work.
Go ahead and give me a firefighting lore.
Sure.
And this is where's my? Oh, it's underneath my book. It's hiding.
I'm gonna use a hero point on that.
All right, yeah, not liking that 13.
I'm very tired of some of these rolls. It's not much better. 17 is better.
You're always tired when you you still drained
I'm
1.
Still drained, so yeah. Do the job regardless.
Okay. 6. Yeah, that is still sadly a failure. You're always just a little too tired when you come in. I can go pull up the document that has the table in it. Or does it have the table? It doesn't have the table.
It doesn't have the money table now. That's
yeah,
just...
well, sorry, what is it?
Earn an income?
Earn income.
Level 6, failure is 3 silver per day.
Okay. So
Or, sorry,
you get your 3
trained.
silver.
Nope, I was right.
Oh,
Failure.
are you expert?
Nope.
Oh, you're trained.
That is correct.
Okay.
Failure regardless is 3 silver, so.
All right, sounds good. So you get your 3 silver for today.
Woo.
Regan, you got a 17. You got a 20 on your medicine check, which is a success.
nice.
You get 11 HP.
My assurance is great news for me.
Oh, of course, yes. With assurance, you can always succeed. At least the. You can actually succeed the.
The increased one, I think. Can I?
Yeah, expert, right? Or sorry, it goes up by 5 each time, right? Or am I?
It's 15,
20 is
20 and then 30, I think.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can succeed with assurance on the second one now.
Yeah, so you can now assure the expert level, which is cool.
Which I didn't need, luckily. I just need 10
Yes.
hit points.
All right. So yeah, Tully, your day is fairly busy. You're still drained, but you're able to get the work done.
Doing the job.
Sure. Felix, what's your day like?
Like with I think the bar's regular business is closed right now, so like I would end up spending it doing research, trying to find business contacts related to that big dinner party, under the idea that some vendor that I know or know through a friend of a friend might be working that party. And I don't know, like that's a rarity in the middle of a city affected by plague, so maybe it would be something worth talking about, some bit of information I might be able to get my hands on.
Okay, so you're going to go try asking around about the Carowinds parties and whether or not they've had one recently or when's the next one.
Exactly.
Okay.
And see what information I can gather.
That would be diplomacy to gather information, or if you're specifically talking to like alcohol vendors, I would allow alcohol lore.
Is the check easier with alcohol lore? Because the diplomacy is actually the better stat.
It is easier by 2, so it reduces the DC by 2. Actually,
diplomacy
it would be very
4.
easy, so I think it would actually reduce it by what's the very easy? It would reduce it by 5.
Oh, that actually makes it worth it. So yeah, I will roll alcohol lore.
Because one does in fact need a lot of alcohol to
especially
run a party.
For a party like that.
Okay, yeah. You ask around the gold market at the various alcohol vendors, food vendors that you're aware of, and multiple of them have heard of the Carowinds. They're very well known. The ones that know them are the ones that also have a presence in the green market. Like this is one, the gold market stall is one of their 2 stalls. The other one is in green market. And yeah, the Carowinds, they spend lots of money on parties, and they've been, ever since the king's death, they were already wild spenders, but they've been ramping it up since the king's death. In fact, I actually sent them a bunch of wine. 2 nights ago? I think they were going to have a party yesterday.
Well,
I don't know when the next one is, but I imagine they're probably having it. I imagine last night's probably the most recent one. You're trying to get in on that business, or?
I mean, the any chance to move product during this time would be wonderful. But if you could let me know the next time it happens, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sure. I know they like a good performer, and you've always been a good bartender over at the Script and Scrimshaw. I'm sure they'd like someone to serve their drinks for them.
Definitely. I could put together a fantastic menu and serve them some delicious creations that maybe I've never encountered before.
Yeah, I'll bring up your name next time they come over.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, the other people that you talk to basically say the same thing, that the ones who were shipping or who were like selling alcohol sold it to them like within the last week, like a couple days ago. Pretty big orders too. There's one catering vendor who brought a bunch of food over yesterday, early in the morning, and like dropped off all the food in their kitchen, but because they know the party was last night.
Well, now I wish we had run this lead down earlier, but I am glad that we at least have wrapped up the loose end.
All right. Anything else you want to search for? Because it's like kind of 2 hours that you spend doing that.
All I can think of right this second.
Okay.
I'll pipe up if I can think of something, but that was the thing I wanted to do, and it turns out we were just a little too late. At least for that party.
All right, that leaves Regan.
Yes. I have instead gotten Assurance Arcana.
Ah,
going
a nice
simple
one.
because that gives me just a 24 if I don't do anything.
Yeah, that'll
pretty
certainly
good.
identify a lot of low-level items and a lot of creatures your level and lower.
I also do want to buy some scrolls. I just forget how much money scrolls cost. There is oh,
There's
there
a
they are. I
table.
have it. I see. All right, this might be expensive. I've been doing math. Kind of bopping around doing academy stuff. Are classes still going and tests and stuff, or even though
Yes,
it's
classes and
lockdown?
tests are still going because they've done a lockdown, but all the students are supposed to be staying in the on campus, so they're still doing classes and things.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I can convince. I can try to convince. I don't know who I'd go to for this. But be like, hey, the town needs, or the city needs help. What if we used our summoning to kind of double the workforce as an extracurricular for people who, I don't know, just as an extracurricular. I know they're locked down, they don't want anyone to leave, so it's gonna be a hard sell. But maybe trying to find a teacher that would be willing to try to talk other teachers into that. Like, hey, let's summon some
Okay.
devils.
Which teacher would you want to go to? I think the ones you've had contact with are Mr. Toff Ornelos, who is like the dean of the whole school. And you've also met the necromancy dean, whose name escapes me. If I look at my list of people in the academy, Oriana Delmore.
Yeah, I actually have her name. Who do I think? Do I think any of them would be more charitable?
Oriana's fairly no nonsense. Toth is also fairly gruff and doesn't really. It's a little bit condescending to students. You're not sure if either would necessarily be very amenable to it.
Trying to think of like maybe not the illusion teacher.
Yeah, the other professors you haven't really spoken to that much in like a personal level, so they might be even harder
Ah,
without building up any rapport.
yeah, I was trying to think like who would be the most into like summoning and like the protective, the abjuration teacher. Is she like okay? Or she,
Who, the abjuration professor?
yeah,
Do I have her name?
it's Jule Kangi.
Oh, right. Is it in my academy doc?
It's at the very bottom.
Yes, she has an insane name. Yeah, basically Julie Kangi, something like that.
Yeah.
Julie Kangi. Let me open up my other document that has the info on the professors and see if it has anything to say about that before I make up lies. Why is it not searching? Oh, because it's not the right one. Haha. I have multiple books that I reference, and Acrobat Reader is going to drive me crazy. Okay, here we go. Search this one. It helps if I spell the name right. We're doing it live. Okay. The head of the Hall of Wards. The abjuration professor. She is ultimately concerned with the protection of the school grounds, the students, the teachers, and the staff.
Yeah, not her.
She is. She is probably the least likely person to agree to endanger the school at all by interacting with the plague.
It might actually just be hard to convince anybody here that this would be a good use of our resources.
You can certainly try, but yeah, you think it will be very, very difficult to get any of them to agree.
I think it would have to be more than like just me doing it. So I don't think Regan's gonna. I think after thinking about it, she'd be like, "These assholes won't help. They just care about keeping the school in lockdown. Like I have to escape to leave every day."
Yes.
Yeah. So she is. I'm probably not going to use my resources to do that. I do want to share my information though. With especially Felix, since his bar has a history. So unless there's any reason it wouldn't work, she's gonna do her little pest form thing again and
and sneak out and head back to the bar.
Yes.
All right. You do successfully sneak out, and we'll say you end up back at the bar a couple hours later after Felix has done his rounds of the market.
I think your news would both be a surprise and not a surprise in a way. Like Dimitri, the history of the script in Scrimshaw is wild. And the fact that mild crimes took place in the middle of it is not really news, but definitely this is new information.
Yeah, they almost got her.
Almost. Maybe it's worth writing him a letter, like asking him, telling him about what we've learned, and asking him for any details he might remember that maybe didn't make the official report.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
There's just just like a day's journey north, right? In Hearst or Horsters?
Is it Harsk?
Harsk?
No, Harsk is the It's Hars. Hars. There we go.
Hars.
Harsk, I think, is the ranger iconic for
Yes.
Pathfinder.
But yeah, Felix would end up writing a letter.
And I
to
think it's a
Dimitri.
couple days journey, so it would take a couple days there and back, probably.
Fair enough. I don't know that this is going to get resolved any faster any other way.
Sure.
But it would also be it would be nice to send him a note. I'm sure he would love to hear from us, from me. But I'll give him, like, in the way that I should probably send him letters more often and haven't. Give him an update about the bar, the fact that, like, we've managed to keep it running for a little bit longer despite the city getting pretty angry at me for a period of time. And then, you know, 2/3 of the way through, sort of bring up all of this past with Mrs. Barrio and everything that happened, and ask if Dimitri remembers any details that maybe might help us hunt down her current hideouts based on the places that she used to hang out at way back when, aside from the Script and Scrimshaw.
Okay. So yeah, you spend some time writing that letter and sending that off. And hopefully I will remember those details enough to give you a response later. In some time in some game days. But yeah, it'll be like 5 copper to send this letter.
Yeah, I'm happy to pay it.
Actually, let's see. So yeah, it's like 5 copper to send it by standard like horse post.
I was gonna say, like, there has to
if
be.
if you want to send it, it's like a silver. Well, no, we'll call it 5 silver to send it by like carrier crow, which is a lot faster. And then there is the sending spell. But would the post office have that?
I don't have that.
That's kind of high level for a post office, I think. So I don't think they would have that.
I want to use the crows just because I want to use the crows.
Okay. Yeah, with a crow, you probably expect a response in like maybe 2 days.
Okay, I have spent my 5 silver.
Okay.
I've tried to.
Today is what is this? Calistral the 26th, Toil Day. Toil Day, Calistral 26th. Response back. Fast by crow. Okay. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. If I don't remember, remind me.
Okay.
It'll probably be in the new year. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you do that. You guys chat. Are you doing anything else until Mayhem's shift is over, or just kind of chilling?
I'm making a shopping list of scrolls. Just personally. A wish list. Christmas wish list. Ooh, boy. Happy holidays. Here's my Amazon wish list scroll list that I don't have enough money for yet. Maybe I do. Wait. My stash.
You guys do have some money.
I keep hiding my money.
Also, Felix, I think, is holding a bunch of the money. So
Yes, if you need coin, feel free. I can go drop a bunch in the group stash if you want.
Felix is sitting on 700 gold. So.
Oh my goodness.
Money, please.
Well, that you're just looking at my stash. Have you looked at the script and Scrimshaw?
No, I haven't looked at script and Scrimshaw separately.
How much money are you holding on to?
The script and Scrimshaw is essentially my retirement account.
Oh my god.
There's always money in the banana stand. Is that what
There's
you're saying?
always money in the banana stand.
Yeah, somehow you guys keep letting Felix pick up all the money, and he's just holding it.
This is why I wasn't necessarily like the most.
You have 1,400 coin
Oh my god.
gold in the script shop.
Regan, you should definitely ask for some of that.
Money, please.
Scrolls or some-
She's like, oh man, I don't think I have enough gold for these
Here.
several level 3 scrolls, of which I would need 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24.
Take what you need from the party stash. I just put a bunch of money into it.
3, 4, 4, 4, 54, 58, 60. Okay.
Only
get-
60 gold.
There was a part at the beginning where no one was picking up loot, and so I'm just like, okay.
I didn't know how to enter the party stash until today. I want to know that. I almost thought to ask, and then I figured it out.
Reagan's like counting like how much she's gonna have to pay, and then Felix just like drops a bag of platinum.
Oh,
How much
My
could it
goodness.
cost, Reagan?
$1.
Gold.
Yeah. Well, I need 600 gold. I'll figure this out. No one tell me.
Okay.
Have you forgotten how to get into the party stashes now?
Did it once today, though. I know it's possible. Oh, it's in.
All
I
right.
know. 'Cause it's in a weird place.
While you guys are
Yeah.
sorting out money, Tully, is there anything you want to do during your shift?
Nothing
On
in particular.
downtime or
No,
anything?
just
Okay.
generally working. Since I'm not aware of anything else anyone's learned yet, so
All right. Well, yeah. Otherwise, your shift is somewhat uneventful. I mean, outside of the fires, that you help put out.
yeah. Besides the events, it's uneventful. That's fair.
Besides the normal stuff, nothing unnormal happens. Your shift ends. Do you go for your post shift?
I guess post shift drink at the Script and Scrimshaws. It seems to be my ritual at this point. So yeah, we'll just head on over there.
All right.
How do we? There. Oh, add currency. That's a button.
Oh, actually, do I have?
Add it one at a time.
Yeah, and it said I have no valid currencies. My butt.
As you walk down the street, Tully.
Oh, I need 600.
There.
Yay! Thank you for my allowance.
Tully, you're walking towards the Script and Scrimshaw. Post work, you're a bit tired. As you're walking, you see a young woman, maybe late teens, early 20s. You're not sure. A Varisian girl, black hair. She looks kind of stylish. She's got some copper bangles around her wrists. She's kind of like standing like just outside the Script and Scrimshaw. Like, she's looking at it and like looking at a sheet of like parchment in her hand, and she looks like worried. And she's kind of looking around a bit.
Are you lost, ma'am?
Yes, actually. And she approaches you nervously. I was. Is this the Script and Scrimshaw? I thought it would be open, but
With things being the way they are, it's understandable. It may not seem open. What are you coming by the Script and Scrimshaw for?
I was heard that there was a man I could meet here who might be able to help.
Well, at the very least, I'll go up to the door and knock on it and see if I can be let inside. I assume it's otherwise locked, otherwise she probably would have tried going in.
Yeah, it's got like the closed sign on the front.
Yeah.
So it looks like she just didn't try to approach it.
I'll knock and then I'll open the door. Why don't you come on in with me? We'll talk to Felix, see if maybe he can put you in touch with this person you want to meet.
Oh, thank you. And she'll follow you inside. There, Regan is, I don't know, scribbling notes and counting out stacks of money as Felix is handing coins. I don't know.
I make my list.
There's tons of coins, and Reagan's got her head down and scribbling, and every so often a paw reaches up, and then Felix puts some more coins in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little
That's
more.
the stack. Goes back to writing.
Like a cabinet you've just never seen open is currently where all this is coming from.
Not exactly what I expected to walk in on.
We're just doing some
Exchange of
accounting.
Goods and services? You didn't expect it.
Quite a lot of currency there. Felix, this young lady was looking to meet you, possibly? Somebody. She thought she could meet somebody here.
Hello and welcome.
Hi. I was told that Mayhem comes here. Is that true?
He's a hero for all and visits many parts of the city. But why do you find yourself in need of Mayhem's help? I'd be happy to listen.
It's my brother. He hasn't come home, and I was getting worried about him, but I didn't want to. Well, I was hoping that maybe he could look for him.
Why don't you sit down? I'd be happy to get you something to eat or drink, and tell me about what led to your brother's disappearance.
Oh, who is your brother? What's his name?
His name's Ruin. He's a performer. And she kind of nervously sits down at the table.
Ruin? The virtuoso?
Oh, you know of him?
I consider myself a cruder version of the miracles that he can perform with music. What happened to him?
I'm not sure. A few days ago, he was approached for some gig, and he told me it was really lucrative, and well, he said he was going to be back by today, and I haven't seen him yet, and I was just getting worried, and I mean, he's been gone for it feels like almost a week now, and I figured I'd hear something, but I don't know. I've just got a bad feeling.
Is this the guy for the party?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the occasionist.
I told you. Oh my god.
Since
I told you.
Felix hasn't mentioned anything about the Carowinds, Mayhem is just, or excuse me, Tully's going to excuse himself and will step out for a period of time and go change.
Yeah, I will keep the conversation going. I want to learn all the details about, and largely I know them already, like who the party was.
Well, so she actually doesn't know. She
Anything
doesn't know the
knows.
name Carowin. She
Okay.
wasn't. She explains that it sounds like it was some kind of wealthy older couple. Ruin was pretty like vague about the details because he was so excited. He just like immediately went to go practice a bunch. Then said he was going to be staying with these nobles for a bit while he gets ready for the performance.
Staying with him.
Yeah, she says that they had like some kind of spare room or something that he could stay in. and once and this was already after the epidemic started, and her name, by the way, is Deyanira, Deyyanira. Last name Mirukova, Mirukova. Deyanira Mirukova. And Deyanira, he basically told her that, like, they're going to be, like, taking Min for a few days so he can, like, prepare and, for this, like, big party they're having. She thought it was a bit of a dangerous idea, given that the sickness is going around. She doesn't want him to get sick at all. He seemed to be like, no, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. It's just people are just getting sick. I'm not going to get sick. I'm young and healthy. It's cool. And despite her worries, she agreed to let him go. And yeah, that was like 4 or 5 days ago. And yeah, she just hasn't heard back from him since then. And she's worried that maybe the Scarnettis got him, is her concern. The noted Verizian gang. She knows that he has, though he's fairly popular in the music scene, he has sometimes gotten a little too involved with the Scarnettis from time to time, and she's worried that maybe they kidnapped him, maybe they beat him up, maybe he's in a ditch somewhere. Her mind is just racing through all of the, like, possible bad things that could have happened to him, and she has no idea where he is right now, and is just she was talking to a friend who mentioned that Mayhem saved her grandmother the one night, and she figured maybe this Mayhem guy could help her. And it seems like that's around when Mayhem comes walking into the bar.
I'm stalking in.
Yeah, I think you'll probably catch me mid-sentence saying thank you for all of the detail you've managed to say to remember. Mayhem keeps his own schedule and goes where he pleases, but the next time we see him, and then
And
Here he
ironically,
is.
apparently too.
Regan's just like vibrating in the background. Like, I told them, oh my god, how could we let this happen? I knew it.
So what's going on?
Are you? And she'll explain the whole story to Mayhem as well, I guess.
Short version. Fair.
Short version.
Nobles, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I found an address in his room on a scrap of paper, but when I went there this morning, the whole place was, the front gate was locked, and it looked like it was dead inside, so it didn't seem like he was there.
Mayhem scowls at the phrasing of dead inside there.
Same. I mean, I'm dead inside, not that I'm scowling.
Was that the South Shore district?
Yes, it was some kind of manor with they had really tall, like, a hedge fence. It sounds like the Carowin Manor.
Yeah, I know the place. Well, I will see what I can find. You can stay here if you want. Do you mind if we get her something to eat?
I would have already.
No.
If it hasn't happened already, it's happening.
If it's not already on the way, it will be shortly. So.
Thank you so much. If you can find him, I'll give you whatever I can.
Not really worried about payment. Just need to make sure that people are being kept safe as best we can. hard times.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayhem. And she's like starting to break down into tears.
Mayhem puts a hand out awkwardly and starts to pat her shoulder. Hey, it's okay. We'll find Ruin. And we'll take care of whoever took him away from you.
I just hope he's okay. He's all I've got.
Give her shoulder a gentle squeeze, and then Mayhem's just gonna leave.
There he
He's already on
goes.
mission.
He works quickly.
Midday. Well, we're heading down to check out the Carowinds. I don't know if anyone else wants to come with, but
I am coming with you, but I shouldn't make. She didn't ask me to go, so I have to make it not obvious that I'm gonna go, even though I really want to go.
Well, Felix, if you gesture to Tace to like handle things here, Tace will like come over, calm her down, get her some food.
Yeah, I think I would ask Taste and Shields to help make her feel comfortable. Give her a decent meal, and otherwise, we'll find a quiet moment to step out.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for her to be distracted by Tace and Shields as they try to calm her down, and you're able to kind of slip out a few moments later.
What was his instrument, or was he a singer?
Ocarina.
Ocarina.
Mhm.
Yes, we must save that beautiful ocarina player. He is the best, and the world will be sadder if he is dead. We have to go. But she says that to Felix when they're outside.
Yeah, I'll catch up with Mayhem and let him know that from asking around, I learned that the Carowinds party was most definitely last night. They purchased a significant amount of liquor and wine from vendors around the city.
The Carowinds party was last night. Ruan hasn't reappeared this morning when he would have if the party had occurred last night.
Indeed.
And the place is considered to be abandoned this morning.
Dead inside.
Please tell me you actually did the air quotes.
I did. Regan air quotes. Dead
It's very interesting.
inside.
Just the pause both coming up.
Yeah.
100% suspicious. Agreed.
Mayhem's gonna pick up his pace because he's actually getting very worried about what he might find.
Yes, we should be running, sprinting, in fact.
All right, you hustling.
Yes.
You hustle
think
across the city.
We must save that beautiful man.
We're hustling to see if we can save Ruan from whatever the hell's going on.
All right, across the city you go. Past the Kendall Amphitheater
That's the
into
Temple
South
of Sacred
Shore.
Ray.
Past the Elven Enclave, which I don't think I labeled on the map, but there's the Elven Enclave there.
I think this is
Hello.
the first time I've noticed Gatefoot, and it's just a giant foot.
Oh yes, the foot
Yeah.
statue.
I mentioned it last time, but yeah, it's just
Big ol'
there.
foot.
Big old
Yeah,
foot.
I didn't have any foot art, so I just kind of tried to draw one loosely with the tools I had in Incarnate.
It's a foot. It works.
I drew some circles.
It's a foot. It's recognizably a foot.
All right, you make your way down to Carowin Manor.
Gosh, they do literally live outside the green market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just there. Let's see.
Thoa.
Oh, it's so lush down here.
Singer.
It is very lush.
Doing speak cool things.
All right. You arrive at their front entry. It's like a cobblestone path with rose bushes to either side. There's like some trees surrounding the manor. There's a hedge. There's hedges like built up around or grown up around a metal chain fence. And in front of you at the front gate is a locked metal gate, flanked by two stone gargoyles, each with lanterns hanging from their mouths. Between the gargoyles is this like big Gothic stone arch of some kind of like imposing giant or something.
Is it dead quiet?
It is very quiet.
And no sign of any guards today.
Oh,
They're guard-
their like personal guard or anything?
Yeah, like
No,
security
doesn't.
of any kind, noble people being that way.
Yeah, you don't hear any voices. You don't see any guards at the gate. Just a simple gate. You can see the manor behind it, rising up above. It looks like it's a 2-story manor.
Okay. Is the gate locked?
Casually go up to the gate and inspect the lock and do a little bit of testing.
Yeah, the lock itself is in fact locked. You try to. It's just like a metal padlock on the gate, so you could attempt to pick it if you wish. The hedges are about like 8 feet tall, so they are technically climbable as well.
Or jumpable?
There's also a variety
Or
of
buggable.
trees nearby that could be climbed. And you can technically walk around the manor as well. Or around the hedges if you wanted.
Yeah, I do see there's a path up to the north there.
Do you want to try the front door or go look for somewhere for a side entrance?
Are we sneaking or are we like knocking? I don't know how you'd knock on this door actually.
I don't think we're knocking on this door. It's more the question of the manor house itself.
Yeah. I'm all for breaking in and being like, oh, what lock? I don't see a lock.
Is
I
the
thought this
streets
was-
aren't busy since everyone's still inside, I assume.
Yes, especially here where the houses are a little bit more spaced out. There's not many people walking the street here.
Break it open.
Yes.
I wanted to try some of my new toys.
If you want to hack it, go.
Fine.
If you want to pick it, go ahead. Just,
I wanted to try to use. I'll use a
Oh,
sneaky
that's what
key.
I thought, man.
Yeah, I apologize. I wasn't trying to say let's break it and that's it. I'm just like, let's go in the front door since we're not
Yeah,
worried about
break
things
in.
Okay.
breaking in. So.
Yes.
Break it in, the
This way
euphemism.
Felix is not a narc, and I guess technically Mayhem isn't really either, but it's a little
Mayhem's not a narc.
confusing.
Tully is.
Tully is.
Alright. Thievery check to pick a lock.
I'm pressing buttons and go.
That is 1 success. You got 1 tumbler in. Looks like this one's got 4 tumblers. So three left.
The first one of the things in the text is sneaky keys.
Oh.
The first time you get a success or critical success in an attempt to pick a lock, you achieve 1 additional success.
Okay, so since you're using the sneaky key, yes, you get 2 successes.
Okay, I will give it another go. There's the actual sneaky key thing. I had just put a circumstance bonus. Oh, fuck, I wasn't going to see that.
Womp, womp.
That is a natural 1 that will break.
Oh. Can I hero
the-
point that, or have we?
Yes, you
we
can.
missed
You
it?
can hero point it.
Yes.
Better.
Yeah, a 30 will do it. That is a success. So you've got 3 tumblers in. There's 1 more tumbler.
Let's try this one more time. And let's make it a blind GM roll. Come on, game.
You
This
can
is
roll the
why-
public for the thievery checks.
Okay. Public roll it is. Hey.
Oh, doing great.
And another 30. That is a success. You hear the last tumbler click into place, and it unlocks. You pull the little steel lock off and let it drop to the ground.
Oh gosh, it looks like they left their front gate unlocked.
We should
Ah,
go inside and make sure that everyone is safe and secure.
yeah. Someone broke into this.
This could be a potentially unsafe situation.
It is worth
door
noting the gate was locked when we arrived, so
Yes, yes.
likely internal, whatever's going on here.
Yeah,
The
it was
door
locked on the
creaks
outside.
open. It was locked on the outside. Strange.
Interesting. Well, I guess if you're leaving your house, it's probably not that strange, but it's strange to me.
It
Strange
is.
to be abandoning a house like this, though.
So yeah, the door creaks open and you pass through underneath
I don't wanna be in front.
the stone archway. In front of you, so if you look above you, there's a balcony that's like just overhanging. I'll kind of draw. You can see the posts where it is, but it's like there, but up above you. So there's like an overhanging wooden balcony. There doesn't appear to be anyone on it. That's on the second floor. But there is a pair of doors here in front of you. There's a couple small windows to either side. To the south, it looks like there's a path leading into maybe the garden. You can see some rose bushes back there. And another building, like a smaller building. But looks like you're standing in front of the main manor building here.
Sully goes into his backpack and pulls out his grappling gun.
Ooh, what's that?
It's for climbing things. Do you want to go in the front door, or should we try going in the back door? Well, the top door.
I want to see him go in the top door.
We're not that acrobatic, but we'll definitely watch.
All right.
I'm pretty acrobatic.
We're going to try and see if we can hook the grappling gun up onto the balcony. There's
Okay.
some decent something on the banister there that we can attach to. I don't know.
Does it need to make an attack roll at all? Let's see. Doesn't say. In that case, I'll just yeah, it succeeds. You
Okay.
aim up. It's a fairly easy shot. You aim up. You fire. I think you'd been practicing with it before, so
Maybe a little bit.
you're able to get it. It wraps around one of the banisters and cinches.
All right. Quick tug to make sure it's reasonably secure, and then we'll start rope climbing up like we're in gym class again.
There he goes.
All right. Give me an athletics check to climb. Should be very easy, but unless you have a climb speed.
Well, it's a natural
Whoa!
20, so I think I'm okay.
Oh yeah, natural 20 is totally fine.
34 total.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove you from there.
That makes sense.
Ow.
Jason wasn't expecting us to go in the top door.
That was so unbelievably graceful. It's like
I've just made him just goes into his bag, pulls it up, fires.
in
it,
his
just starts
element.
Climbing up.
Just
Like,
disappears.
just imagine him like he grabs
Ooh.
the ring and just floats up.
Ooh.
I just need to tweak a thing. Oh. Is that right? What's going on here? Okay, sure.
How far is it up
That's
to
right.
that second level that we just watched? Magic.
It's only like 15 feet or so,
Okay.
if that. Yeah, something like that.
So, is it conceivable that I could use the effect on the boots of free running to just walk up there?
Let's see, how does that work? Once per day, you can activate the boots, allowing you to stride, run up vertical surfaces like walls at your full speed. Yes, you can do that.
So yeah, Regan, you after watching that beautiful act of acrobatics, you see Felix just walk up to one of the walls and then just keep walking.
There he goes.
All right, I'll move Felix up here as well. You run up the side wall and then up onto the balcony as well. Is Regan
Much easier way to get up.
joining, or?
I'm gonna try these doors.
All right.
The two
Why
tryhards up here, and then Reagan just like.
Are they? Oh,
More?
that one seems locked.
Why can I not?
This one.
There we go. Yeah, you try the door and realize that it is locked.
That's unfortunate. What did I bring with me today?
There's still a rope here if you want to try climbing. I can give you a hand.
Oh, there's a rope. I will try climbing the rope.
I would like to aid if possible.
Okay,
Oh.
sure. Athletics check to aid, and then athletics check to climb.
19. Not great,
That'll
but
succeed on the aid, so +1 to the climb.
I don't know how much that'll help. Hopefully by 1.
I mean, yeah. It should. Something?
We...
You
I got an
start to try to climb, but you kind of freeze up.
This is my worst skill by so much.
Reagan's holding onto it. Can I just start pulling it up?
Sure, it'll be a harder check, but yeah, you can attempt athletics.
I'll just start trying to pull Reagan up now that she's holding onto the rope. 31.
31? Sure. Reagan, you like
this at some point anyway, so
you're like barely off the ground, and then you just like freeze up, and then you start getting pulled.
Oh, thank goodness.
Let's see. So I remove you from that side and bring
I
you
hadn't
up.
actually looked into the windows yet.
No, you were looking down at your friends.
Yeah. Yep.
And where's this? How do you actually do that? I hope. Can you see? No? Why?
If you select my token, you can see what I'm seeing. Or
Oh. I was trying to do a thing, but it's not working. Okay, well, whatever. I'll just describe to you what you're saying. So, now that you're up here, you take a peek through the windows on the balcony. And inside is quite the gruesome scene. You see blood everywhere, bodies scattered about. It seems to be some kind of like mezzanine kind of great hall. There's like paintings up on the walls overlooking the hallway. You can see like a railing down to that has like an opening down to the first floor. But yeah, there's blood, there's bodies, but there's also people, seemingly nobles dressed up in party attire, wearing fairly fine looking masquerade masks, just kind of casually walking about the room, looking up at the paintings, kind of nodding. They
just ignoring
move.
these bodies.
You watch as one kind of gingerly steps over one of the bodies.
Huh.
Why is it not showing them? Oh, there we go. Can you see it now?
All I see is darkness.
Somebody else can see it. I can't see it from my angle, but that's fine.
Ah, there.
Yeah, why?
Ah,
Okay.
Yeah, Regan can see it. I presume.
Regan, when this person turns towards you, you can see that they are in fact dead. And they appear to be a zombie.
A very
They're-
cultural zombie looking at those paintings.
Yes. It's a strange thing watching this zombie kind of shamble awkwardly from painting to painting, looking up. Not with any understanding in its eyes, but just kind of dimly gazing at the painting, nodding loosely, and then starts to walk towards the next one.
What?
I don't know why they're
creates
looking ghostly
zombies?
on here, but they're supposed to just be visible. Sorry, what?
What creates a zombie is?
A corpse?
No, like any magic, like does
Oh, yeah,
somebody
there's
have to
magic
do this to a person?
Oftentimes, yes. It usually is a thing that a person does. But yeah, you watch as these zombies just kind of shamble around the room, looking up at these paintings. Their actions seem repetitive, like they're just kind of following a formula.
These are comfortable neurons that have fired in the past and are just still firing.
It
Seems
looks
like
almost like
real.
choreographed.
Almost to make it seem like people are here, even if they're not. Or alive, I suppose.
Or the actions of a sadist? Maybe the one that we've heard of? This would just be a messed up thing to do.
Oh, that one doesn't look like a ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. The
Yeah.
tokens are fucked up, so I'm trying to fix them. But as you're kind of staring there, watching in the windows, one of them eventually sees you, or like stops and looks at the window,
I wave.
and then it like unhinges its jaw and lets out an unearthly scream and runs at the window. It kind of slams into the glass, and I think that is probably a good spot to end for the evening.
Jump scare? How could you?
Yes.
He just like
Yay.
calmly looks over, is like, look, everyone.
Well,
The glass is like shaking.
Like, you've never had a hangover before? Come on. Clearly what's happening
It's a really rough party.
there.
All right, and yeah, that'll do it for the evening. Welcome to Carowin Manor. Please do enjoy your stay. We will be back early in the new year, everyone. I think we're off for like 2 weeks or so, and hopefully be back on like the 6th. So we'll see you then. Thanks for supporting us this past year, or in the future if you're in the future. I'm not gonna judge. Some people like to be in the future. I like to be in the past, but I like to dabble a little bit in the future as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'll see you there. Have a good rest of your year, or beginning of your year, or have a good one. You guys have a good one. Keep pathing, keep finding, keep living, keep laughing, keep loving. Goodbye.